All right, recording got started. All right, my dear students, let me quickly share the screen and start introducing myself with my LinkedIn. Hi, everyone. A grand welcome to all of you for hands-on tech BA class. Today is our day zero class. Why we are naming it as a day zero? It's more about introduction to the business analyst, technical business analyst, AI tech business, AI enabled tech business analyst, what kind of tools we need to embrace to stand out in the market. So it's more about introduction, warming up and all the things. So we are going to have the class for 2 hours. And then after that, we'll take the Q&A. We'll wind up. Tomorrow, same time, using same Zoom link, we are all going to join, but we are going to start with the day one with the complete basics of the business analyst and everything. Today also we are going to touch the basics, but today is more just we are going to give the overall summary, overview. Okay. All right, team. Okay, so let me start introducing myself. So my name is, this is a big name. So you can call me Lakshmi, and I'm familiar to most of you who joined, like who took my previous batches. So right now I'm acting as a director for hands-on agile coaching company based out of Australia. I extensively worked in UK, Netherlands, India, Belgium on large complex projects where a tech lead and all the stuff. And you can see my LinkedIn and other roles as well. This is my LinkedIn. Whoever wants to connect with me, cool. And then with this extensive experience, few years back, I floated this company called Hands-On Agile Coaching Company. This is my company website, and since then we have been doing various training programs, completely more of a job-oriented one. So the difference that we are making in the market is we outside training programs, most of them they are certification oriented, theoretical concepts, but unless you do the things on your own, unless you have the ability to use the latest tools in the market, so you are not going to create that wow factor for the recruiters, or you are not going to excel in the job. Take it for granted. Very important. So that's the reason we have been doing all these training programs in a practical way, like a DevSecOps, Gen AI, cybersecurity, and the data engineer, the tech business analyst. And this is my uh, WhatsApp. And if I just type here cyber, so these are all the cybersecurity batches that we have done. And if you just type here Azure, these are all the Azure data engineering batches that we have done. And if I just see the project management training programs, these are all the batches that we have done. And the same thing goes for the Tech BA as well. These are all the Tech BA classes. Okay, team. And each and every live class will be recorded as well. So all the recordings will be in the Google Drive. You will be given access. For example, in the month of January, this year, we have done one batch of the tech business analyst. You can see here, week one. Every week you have two classes, right? Saturday and Friday, I mean like 2 days. Friday evening is Saturday morning here. So that's the weekend. So here, weekend day one, day two, weekend day two, like this. If you double click, you will be having the respective reading materials, and you will be having the recording as well. The recording is here, and you're also seeing that prompt. What do you mean by prompt? Asking, how do you use the latest tools, the AI tools? How do you ask prompt? That is very important, right? That's what we call it as a prompt engineering. Okay, team, all set? Okay. Now, what I will do, I'll just give a quick 5 minutes 5 to 10 minutes, just layman introduction, and I will hand over to our super expert trainer, DP, for this. I'm also working as a builder in Australia. So this guy is a very famous builder in Australia. So this guy name is Lakshmi, and he's having a company called Melbourne Builders. Now he gets different clients coming up with their own set of requirements. This lady came said, "Hey, I need a 2 bedroom house." This guy said, "Oh, I need a 4 bedroom house." And this guy, a business guy, said that, "Oh, I need a villa." And another customer came, "Oh, I'm extremely poor guy. I just need a simple shed." So everybody have their own needs, their own set of requirements, right? And I'm the builder. Am I going to build a house with my own hands? No, I'm just a coordinator. I'm the representative of the company. And here I should be expertise in understanding the client needs, understanding the requirements, correct? Who wants what? I should be able to analyze those requirements and then understand those requirements. And then and this is my team. My team contains painter, plumber, electrician, and a group of construction workers. These are all my teams. Okay, this is my team. Now, Lakshmi is getting requirements from various people, from various family members, and their own needs. So I have to understand their needs, and I have to analyze those needs, and I have to translate them and clearly explain so that each of them they understand it very clearly. So here I am acting as a bridge between these end customers and my development team. What they are developing here the actual houses, physical houses. So you can imagine yourself in layman terms. Now, when we map the same logic to IT, you know that I worked in National Australia Bank. So here in the next, for the bank to operate smoothly, we need business people. Hope all of you agree, right? Who are the business people? So they ensure that the business operations run smoothly. I need someone who takes care of the legal requirements. I need someone who takes care of the regulatory requirements. Regulatory, right? So government regulatory. I need someone who take care of the security requirements. What are the activities that we need to do to ensure that our organization is safe? What are the activities we need to do to ensure that our organization is adhering, meeting the regulatory standards? And similarly, what should our organization do to stand out in the market with competitors? What should our organization do for our customers, customer needs and everything? So all these people are required. So we are calling them as business representatives with their own division. Yeah. Now, these people are going to please go on mute. If you have any questions, you are most welcome to drop your question in the chat, but please don't unmute. Yeah. And we don't want to record any noise. Now, these are all the business people covering their own areas. And we have the IT people. The IT people are there here. So we have the designers and we have the development people, like how you have here painters, plumbers like this. And then we have the testers. So this is the IT department, IT department, right? Now these people, they need to understand the requirement a little bit from the technical perspective, functional perspective, then only they can do. So we need a person, we need one person here who can act as a bridge between the business and IT, who can participate in the workshop, who can understand the business requirements, who can translate the requirements in such a way that these people they understand very clearly. So with this particular understanding, the development, what the development team do, they do the design, development, testing, and they deliver a value to the end customer. Simple, simple. So this person is very, very critical. Agree or not? Now we are all talking about AI. We have everywhere in the market. Now, with your simple common sense, please tell me, can AI replace this particular job? No. Can AI replace this Java developer job? Yes. Why? If I open ChatGPT, one of the AI tools, and then ask the ChatGPT, build a Java code to validate the 16-digit credit card. So this particular guy, if I ask him to build the same logic, definitely will be taking maybe 1 or 2 days. But this AI tool is just taking 1 or 2 minutes, not minutes as well. It's done, right? Credit card validation is done. Now, I don't need all these 10 people. I need maybe one or two people who can smartly use this AI tool. Yes? Now, that is the reason you are seeing heavy layoffs in the market across the globe. We have to understand the reality. Understand the reality. So, Java developers, definitely the trend is going to go down. .NET developers, yes. What about testers? Manual testing, automation testing. Can AI do the testing job? I don't know. Let us see. Can you also prepare test cases for above? A simple ask with a simple layman language. Now all the test cases is done. This is what a tester will do, right? Understand the requirements. Based on those requirements, prepare the test case. Look at this. Complete JUnit test cases we call, who are from technical background. Java unit test cases for each and every unit. It is already executing the test cases. Now, we are also coming to the conclusion that yes, down the line, AI is also going to replace the testers. AI will be replacing the developers as well, most of the developers, unfortunately. But what about this person? This person has to participate in the workshops. Talk to these business people. Can AI talk? Can I ask, hey, can you go to the business and participate in the workshop and do the brainstorming and talk to them? AI can't talk. So wherever the human touch is required, so AI can't do, AI can't replace. So that is the reason still we have very good job market for the business analyst across the globe. If you just say business analyst, search, you see here, these are all the jobs. And most of them, they are already using AI, senior business analyst and all that stuff across the globe. Yeah. So even if some of you join from Australia, go to Seek and just type here business analyst and then click on Seek. Oops, sorry, the keyword didn't picked up. Seek, look at the business analyst. You have 8,000 jobs. 2 days back, 2 days back, and maybe I can just filter listing time to last 7 days. You can see in the last 1 week alone, you have 2,000 plus jobs in this tough market. So this is the kind of demand we have. Now
Yeah.
let us ask the same AI. Just please wait.
So, okay.
No, please don't disturb the flow, Anand. If you have any
Oh,
question, just you can message.
okay. Thank you. Okay.
Now, if I ask the same AI, what a business analyst will do. A business analyst. So, as I told you, talk to the business people, understand the requirement, challenges, goals. So, you are responsible for meeting in the workshops, meetings, interviews. You are going to prepare certain document. You analyze the requirements and you work with the teams. You are a coordinator and you are supporting the testing teams and you do the documentation. And you will be using tools like Jira, Confluence. Somewhere you have to document, right? So in our actual class, whoever is registering, all of you are going to get the access to this particular tool called Jira tool, Confluence tool, all the tools, and where you will log in and you are going to document and represent the requirement in the form of epics, user stories. You are going to execute the sprints. You are going to track the activities and you are going to the reporting, whatnot. You will be doing all this stuff. Got it? Real time. In nutshell. Now let us understand what does a technical business analyst will do. Earlier it was only functional business analyst, but market is changing, evolving. So market since last year, we started asking about the technical business analyst. In short, we call tech BA, tech BA, who work closely with the business and the same thing with a bit of technical expertise, understanding what do you mean by API, application programming interface, what are the databases, integrations. So you need to have that technical expertise as well. So technical feasibility, is it really possible? Yes or not? Feasibility, possibility. Work on the APIs, analyze the SQL, documentation, and everything. Got it? Now, since late last year, so every role is heavily embracing AI. Like that, we also now our organizations are expecting the business analyst also, the tech business analyst also to embrace AI. So that is the reason we started this training program called AI Tech Business Analyst. Getting it? So in this particular training program, this is the class is starting today, and it goes every week. Friday night and Saturday night USA time, Saturday morning, Sunday morning US, Australia and India time. You are going to learn all the BA and BA requirements, AI specs driven development, prompt engineering, SQL, all the tools like a Claude, ChatGPT, Power, and these Power BI, SQL. Okay, and then towards the end, GP will also help us to understand about the course content, what is being covered. So this is the entire course content with all the modules. I will be sharing this one as well. So, so these are all the modules. And now let me introduce our trainer. His name is DP, very familiar in India, and he's having extensive 20 plus years of experience like me, and he's seasoned in data management, AI, ML, completed lot of training, more than 30 plus batches. He's expertise in agile as well, and then AI, ML. You can see plenty, USA, Europe, all the stuff. Okay, now
Thank you, Lakshmi.
all good. Yeah, I'm handing it over to. So I think DP is already a bit angry with me. Like what I want to tell Lakshmi already covered some part of it. Yeah. Okay, cool. Over
It's
to
a
you, DP.
simplified,
Thank
yeah,
you.
right. So, hi guys, hi everyone. Please type, if you are able to hear me.
Yes.
And, okay, let me show my face. Yeah,
Yeah.
is it
Yes.
visible?
Yes. You are visible. Yep.
Right. So, thank you, Lakshmi. And hello everyone. Please type, if you are able to hear me and able to see my face. That okay, because today we are living in a AI world. Everything is something like the fake, whatever it is, but we are real. Okay, that's what.
That's true.
So
Not
that is
robots.
what something the communication. That's a collaboration that like the Lakshmi's spotted that what roles are not going to be eliminated by robots or this deep technology, cutting edge technology, like interaction, human to human, right? So, uh, because so I study cybernetics because cybernetics, maybe you can Google it. What is cybernetics? It is all about the interaction, communication between the human beings and the systems. That's going to be changed. Okay, in maybe next few years, maybe robots will come into the picture. But when we are talking about that, the projects, right? So I'll talk about myself a bit. I'll connect the dots that maybe not the dots like Lakshmi talking about the projects, right? So we talk about the civil construction domain where the customer wants something to build there again from the like engineering team from the the vendor side, they are going to understand the requirements and try to implement that. And later is connected the IT project, right? So tech project is also similar, right? So there is the software development company where we call it as a vendor and the client. In between the BA is going to be there and who can understand the requirements. Okay. I wanted to highlight here that one key difference is that box pushing, because when I say box pushing, what does it mean? Like, so physical things like if it is a civil construction or a automobile or manufacturing or chemical, anything which is a box pushing, like it's physically we can touch and feel. But when it comes to the IT project or a tech project, it is in virtual in nature. How many of you agree with me? Hello, please type that, because this session is all about like our sessions, like is more interactive. Because I'll tell you one fact that last batch we developed a project also. I can show you that, like litmus score. Litmus means testing, right? You know that litmus paper is going to, if you put something water, it will tell you that acidity and all. The same way we built one application to understand the students, like how they understand, how they receive the topic that we are talking about, right? So last project, that was the case study we have implemented also. I can show that too, with the help of AI. That's 10x faster. Okay, 10x faster, without because I have a technical background as well, with which, okay, I clearly give the kind of instructions, you can say rules, everything defined in Cloud, and it generated everything, right? So it deployed, it's working. So we are going to use that tool also, right? So first, type your answers that. So do you agree that software development, like when we are talking about software projects, okay, tech projects, tech industry, so they are different because they are in virtual in nature. Software is in virtual in nature, right? So developing or building a software product or a tool or an application, irrespective, it's a mobile application or a web application or migration project, understanding the legal requirements, understanding the regulatory, understanding the integration requirements, we can list a lot, right? So, but how the software should look like, it's very difficult to envision beforehand. That is what the key difference. It's a, my name is DP. I live in Hyderabad and I work for one of the largest firms, like Big Four firm, okay, as an architect and business technology analyst, where my capabilities are techno-functional and managerial also. But today we are playing, full stack. So whatever the task comes into your plate, that you should be able to address it, right? So it doesn't matter whether you are in a leadership or a associate level, right, or a mid level. So that's where I wanted to ask you that the software projects, building, products like software products or an apps, it is virtual in nature. That's where the key, like if you're building a motor like automobile, it's easy. Like you can do a clay model that they can understand the size and shape and color and everything. But when it comes to the software, it is difficult to understand the requirements. Customer, even we are building an automobile or a software, customer doesn't know what he wants. He knows it, but he doesn't know how to articulate it. That's where the BA comes. Okay. So we are going to train you that what requirement versus spec versus need. That is, the clarity is important, because see, why we are bringing a BA in between tech teams and the business is to minimize the uncertainty, reduce uncertainty. That's what my key core principle for any business analyst is, to minimize the uncertainty, reduce uncertainty. That is the principle upon we should be able to build the rules. Okay. How do I test the uncertainty? How many types of uncertainties are there as a BA when I'm gathering the requirements? Otherwise, I will be a one of the bottleneck, okay, in building the software and applications. Today we are living in an AI world, which these uncertainties can be tested in a fastest possible way. Believe me that I'm doing it. I can show you that use cases what we are solving with the help of AI in terms of requirements side. Okay. Uh, let me share screens. Okay, I'll stop the video.
Yep.
Right. Okay. This is what, and one more thing I wanted to bring up, like with this AI that Lakshmi showcased us, that how we can ask, because developer is going to be replaced. Yes, maybe layoffs are going. What is the root cause for the layoffs? Is it to make the profits or really the AI? We don't know, but believe me that, trust me that for sure, uh, this is going to settle for sure. Maybe mark my words that we're improving the efficiency, not eliminating anything. Okay, maybe developers will be there. Why I did tell you? Because we are practicing for the last 3 years. We are trying to bring this augmented SDLC and spec-driven development. Okay, we are already trying to bring, because that's what Mohammed is already mentioned, that hey, executive level doesn't know what they want really. Yes, everybody is learning. Everybody is learning. Okay, intelligence become cheaper compared with last year. How many of you agree? Yes, Mohammed mentioned that, like, hey, the top level management doesn't know. Yes, they don't know because this is a new technology. Everybody is learning. Okay, everybody is learning. Regulatory is learning. This data privacy, data stewardness, all these are very, very new. Okay, that's what we are hurry that making comments that maybe this has happened, that has happened. But this is a tool. I see this four transitions. It's been almost 26, 25 years. I was in this field, same field, software. By the name software, I know only two things: systems analysis and design, and the software engineering. Only two things. Okay. So I see from 90s, mid 90s until today, there are a lot of transition. Then there was no internet, web browsers back in the days, only offline software development. In 2000s, we see internet coming up, things changing. Then we have adapted, right? And there is a Y2K problem, and a lot of problems have hit, and we are solving it, right? So IT is gone, but still it has come back in a different way. In 2009 and 10s, there is a cloud movement. Everything shifted to the cloud. Okay, and 2018, I started learning this machine learning, AI, and data analytics from Wharton Executive Education, and all this business analytics. And I did my PGP from one of the Indian institutions in IT, where in 2018 we started early. We started adapting it. But what is the change? Is it easy to implement all this and eliminate the people? That's not so easy. But only one thing I can tell you, this is a tool which helps us to improve our efficiency. Okay, minimize uncertainties, minimize conflicts, minimize ambiguities. Okay, how we are going to use it? You will be there only if you adapt. That's what, right? So the dinosaur and the human, that is a key difference. Who adapts the change, they live. So that's what does. Still, it's been almost, my age is 50 plus, and I have 27, but still, because we are adapting. I started daily learning the AI. Okay, that's what still I am competing with. Not competing, I'm gel with the Gen Zs and working with them, right? Because adoption is the key. No layoff is going to hit you. Okay, when you are open to learn, because that's what the growth mindset, right? Please write it down. So I like this word. Growth mindset is all about learning, right? So what we should learn from this is the wave it is coming. Do you pick the wave or not? That's important thing, right? If I miss the wave, so you will be laid off or you will be unknown. Okay. Therefore, this is the time, transition time. And again, lot of opportunities coming up. A lot of market is opening up in a different way. Mobile technology coming. So is it stop the people? No, they hide more. Even so, but our using this AI tools, technology, and our efficiency increases. But the more advantage towards upstream. When I say upstream, what does it mean upstream? Business analysis, like executive level people who makes the decisions, like they need dashboards, who are the people who understand business problems and who can solve the problems. Everybody should become a problem solver. Okay, this is my tagline: don't write code, write specs. Okay, write specs, not code. This is the transformation we should be able to learn. Even developers also should come to this product owner side or some BA side. Maybe this we are calling it is, as per the Gartner, they are saying it is a citizen development. Maybe how many of you heard of this word? I don't know. Citizen development. augmented SDLC, spec-driven development. These are the latest keywords in the marketplace. If you adapt and put it in your resume, definitely you will be highlighted. Okay, even the resumes also tracking by application tracking systems with the help of bots, right? And the AI agents. Therefore, our keywords are clear. Hey, I know the Gen AI, how to do the prompt engineering. I know what types of prompts will be there. Okay, how to validate requirements. How do I use the Claude in order to validate the BRD, and how to generate the specs. I know APIs, I know SQL, I know database, I know Power BI, I know data analytics. If you keep these add-ons into your resume or a CV, whatever you call it as, or marketing brochure, I can say, so people will recognize, the demand will recognize for sure. Okay, we are a supply. Okay, this is what happens in economy, right? So demand and supply. So the demand is for the people who learn AI, how to implement, like how to make use of AI, assisting AI, right? They will be sustained. Okay, right. So let's come to this agenda today. What is Tech B? BA? It's already simplified by Lakshmi, and however, I'll add a little bit. And what is the roles and responsibilities? And introduction to the requirements and specs. There is a key difference actually, but we always merge it because this is required nowadays because we need to have a spec-driven development mindset. That is what the mindset we should be able to change. Right. Next is what is STD? We are talking about the spec-driven development. Even Microsoft is also promoting this and introduction to the tech project like augmented SDLC. What does it mean, augmented? So agents will come into the picture. Hey, let's say as Lakshmi mentioned that, hey, can you develop a Java, blah, 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 right? So it's generating, right? So, but that fails. I'll tell you the reasons. The code will fail, sure. I can show you the evidences also. This is the way. Poor code quality, okay? Because poor input validation and no error handling strategy, try catch or blah 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 blah, and no consistent project structure. That is what architectural flaw. That is the key because we are facing that now. We are facing in the projects because we are using Copilot, Git Copilot. Okay, even POs generating the BA requirements, and they are trying to generate the code. That's what we are trying to experiment. But the problem which I see is the testing the project like architectural test cases. Typically, we are calling it as architectural test cases. Maybe you heard of functional test cases, integration test cases, but there are architectural test cases also key now. Why? Because hey, anybody can write the code, but is it is it a junk verbatim, right? So therefore, no separation of concerns. Are they following the patterns? Don't know, right? Do they know design patterns? Okay, Gang of Four design patterns. Maybe you heard of Gang of Four, right? So it's about popular design patterns. Every that guy should know. Oops, like that. Object oriented programming, object oriented analysis. These concepts must know. How many of no? This is where a formal training is required. Hard coded configurations, right? So AI writes, hard coded because it doesn't know the context. That is the biggest problem now we are facing. Context means what? Like, what is the previous? What happened previously? What is the structure? What is the architectural style? And what is the layers that are there where I should be able to write the code, right? Okay, this is what the problem, hard coded. No logging or observability means that telemetry is missing because it's a very, very important telemetry. Okay, to track that in the not production, at least in the development stages. So note the security considerations. This is the key, right? Cyber is very, very important. Static issues like token poisoning, or a lot of technical things will be there, right? So SSRF, a lot of things because today breaching is the again Lakshmi mentioned cyber security is the key. So the vibe coding is not going to work, but how it works, why it works. People think that vibe coding works, but that works for my engineering kid. Like I'll show you that BID generated by him. I'll show you that. That's what he is going to create that app, like just what I thought of to show you that how the BID looks like. They can, but he misses all these things because he can wipe code, but he will miss the proper architecture of the software. This is what typically we call it as software engineering, right? So how it should structure and it should behave. It fails if straight away everybody whiteboards. But where it comes to the life, the fact is that the BA or PO or upstream people, okay, that's non-technical people, you can say, or semi-technical people who supposed to define the requirements very clear. You define the spec clear, the vibe coding works. I'll show you that in the end of the course. This is what I prepared, that build the production ready projects with Claude. Okay, you will get it. End of the like this is the workshop we wanted to do from if you have a BRD or you don't have a BRD, no problem. Okay, if you have a BRD, we can give that BRD and how to do the step by steps. I have the prompt engineering. We have curated prompts and what clarifications, which mode we should be able to use in the cloud, because we use the tools like Google, right? Because we are coming from a habit of searching, right? So search engines, but ChatGPT is not going to work like that, or Claude doesn't work like that. Claude Code doesn't work like that. Even recently, day before yesterday, that Google is released IO. Maybe how many of you anti-gravity IO? How many of you heard of this news? I don't know, but it is going to change. Even it builds mobile apps also. Okay, so using there are tools coming up, but if I don't know, these are very sharp. These are very sharp tools. If you don't know how to use it, it's like a two-edged sword. Okay, it will cut, right? So therefore, we should know which mode I should be able to use the Claude or ChatGPT or Copilot. Okay, for which task, which model I should be able to pick, and what context. How to keep the context. How do I minimize the tokens? Because see, the cost of software development using AI is very costly. How many of you agree with me? Hello, please type your answers. That's what maybe I wanted to check.
Just
Uh,
a quick question: is it license based, or do you mean when you
yes,
say the cost? Deepe, Anant here, a good
yes,
professional friend of Lakshmi here at Melbourne.
So, Anand,
Will,
Anand,
I,
sorry, I
so
request you to please park your questions towards the end, Anand, so you can
okay,
just
that's
ask. You
that's
can.
all right. That's all right. Okay. So just wanted to know, DP, like, is it like license based
yeah,
cost? You
quick,
said.
yeah, quickly. There are two things. Okay, I'll simplify this. I have a license. Okay, for two, Claude and as well as Copilot. So when we try to make use of that it will give us the limit. Hey, this is what the limit, 90% you have used it. That is one thing. You can upgrade it for the premium. That is the cost. But why that cost? Why the limit is coming up is because the prompt. Because I'm asking big things. Hey, generate something which is the enterprise application level project with all these layers, API layer, domain layer, infrastructure layer, and a lot of entities in. Because if there is a 5,000 lines of code or 1 lakh lines of code, okay, why the cost coming into the picture is because the tokens being used. Tokens
Sorry,
is the key.
DP, I think we
Yeah,
are routing to the other
yeah,
areas as
yeah,
well. Let us,
yeah,
others
yeah,
also typing. So let us
yeah,
stick to
yeah,
the agenda step by step, and we'll
yeah, yeah,
focus on
yeah.
this. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. And yeah, come back to that, So this is about myself. I quickly, we have already talked about that. I don't want to spend because it's a large journey that we have started mid 90s. Okay, in 96 I've started software development at the age of maybe 93 is my first certification at age of 15, 16. Okay, this is what like 27 years of IT experience. 14 years I've software development side experience during scalable life because I'm most into product development side. I know why profits fades. Okay, and 7 years. Yes, I run a company by the name like Last Mile IT Systems Private Limited. It is into remote sensing. Okay, I don't want to get into this. It is sold to some other company. It is acquired by some other company. because of the balance sheet, you know that, right? So the finance balance sheet and a lot of things will be there, cash flows and all, and the market end of the day, the market, right? So 7 years, 2016 onwards, again, I'm back to the consulting and career roles. 5 years in the latest journey because I've adapted this AI and machine learning and data engineering, and one common thing is one is common persisted systems analysis and design and business analysis. This is a common thing. So I don't leave, and this is what I always involve, even in the current projects also, because an architect must know the requirements. Then only will architect. Okay, NFRs, non-functional requirements and all. Okay, this is what some workshops we used to conduct. Um, Even physical workshops and different locations corporate. And let's introduce about this program which we are talking about, right? So because I don't get more details of that, like Excel sheet kind of a thing, but I'll give uh, a pictorial view of that, like the week one we talk about that, like foundation and the AI mindset, because it is a mindset shift. The tools coming up, the sharp tools coming up, that how to make use of that, and where we are going to fail, and how to make use of the tools, right? So that's what the introduction. Gen AI for like prompt engineering is the key, that is we should be able to know. So that's what I'm talking about, the cost. If your prompt is very clear and curated and engineered properly, structured properly, what you are asking, and you're keeping the context intact, then your cost will be less. And elicitation is the key, like focus deep, not the wide. Okay, so this is the principle. Again, it works here. Focus in is depth is key, because as a business analyst, right? So we should be able to analyze till the so spec, like functionality and the spec. Okay, that's where we should be able to have the problem solving mindset. Okay, um, RCA is the key, right? Root cause analysis. Like we should be able to solve problems. We should be able to understand the needs, customer needs, and what is the requirements. And these are the tools, quick tools, because nowadays maybe BA needs Visual Studio Code and GitHub and all. Yes, because do you know what kind of a tools? That's very important, because VS Code is the very important tool nowadays for a tech guy, any tech, because you are calling it as a tech BA, right? So do I know the VS Code? VS Code is a tool, is an integrated development environment where you can see the coding, or even you can do the some analysis also. I can show you how to do the BRD analysis in the planning mode in the VS Code, how to configure the Copilot or Claude in the VS Code. And GitHub is a repository where actually code base is going to be maintained. These are the tools actually we wanted to set up first of all. And the second week, like we are going to talk about that more into deep down that analysis side, like problem solving and decision making mindset, and that's some key skills that required for a BA. And solution scoping is very important, because when we have already talked about reduce the uncertainty, that is the key principle. Uncertainty is the always a culprit that screw your project for sure. So sooner or later we realize, because of this uncertainty, this costing us this big bug, because of this uncertainty. Okay, but nobody blames you. But today we uh, augmented SDLC. When I say augmented SDLC, because you cannot blame an agent, right? Agent, cloud agent, you cannot blame, or a co-pilot, you cannot blame. But the spec may be the wrong, right? Earlier humans are there. Maybe we can say kind of a blame game with them. We can do a blame game with them. But now agents are becoming, they are also augmenting in the software development lifecycle. Therefore, the BRD should be clean, the clarification should be clean, there is no open questions, they should be closed, and the spec should be ready, right? And the solution should also be the spec properly, like what APIs and interfaces, what database, and what is the table structures and all, right? So that is the solution side. So elicitation is the key. That's listen. Listen is the key. Elicitation is all about obtaining the information from the client or a customer or a product owner. That is the key. The principle is that listen. Okay. So a workshop on this the techniques. There are 50 techniques. There are 50 techniques according to the webhook IIDA, but we will focus on a set of techniques which are frequently used, okay, by the tech PS. Not all. Let's say cost benefit analysis. Do you need it? No. Is it financial analysis like ROA, IRR? Okay, all these required, not required, all those techniques, but questionnaire is important. Questionnaire, how to prepare questionnaire is important. Conducting workshops is very important. Reverse engineering is very important. Document analysis is important. Okay, these techniques we are going to talk about. And this next come to the modeling. What does it mean, modeling? So I'll give the definition of modeling is uh, documenting. It's a way of a process of documenting. The modeling is all about documenting. What we are going to document, what are the formats? There are three formats we can document that. Either it is in a text format or a table format or a visual, diagrammatic. So diagram speaks much better than the words, right? This is what, why as a BA, I should be able to know this documenting, modeling, either requirements or business process or data flow diagrams or swim lane diagrams or cross-cutting workflows. Why? Because clarity. The key principle here for modeling is the clarity. If you miss the clarity, it connects the other principle, that uncertainty. Uncertainty always be surfaced out because of that we are lack of understanding. Is it understanding for me? No, it is how others are understanding. See, I can decide many things for my personal own things, right? So I interpret whatever I understand, but how others are understanding is the key. That's where the model. So to whom you're creating the diagram, and what you, here is the communication collaboration comes into the picture. Communication is the key for BA. How do you solve that problem? Communication problem. It's a modeling. Model. Model is the basis for analysis. Okay. This is what always my principles. So the key principle is that clarity is the key principle, not the confidence. Still, I have 26 or 30 years, maybe still I do this modeling things. Why? Because the clarity is important, not the confidence. Okay, that's where modeling comes into the picture, where we will talk about the DFDs, use case diagrams, and flow diagrams, swim lane diagrams, cross functional flow diagrams. All those comes into the modeling. And the subsequent week, we will talk about the requirement lifecycle. That's where the user stories comes into the picture, so keeping in AI, all these are designed, right? For an AI agent to generate code, the user stories. When I say user story, maybe if you are new to this, user story is a piece of requirement, a small briefed piece of requirement with an acceptance criteria followed by GWT framework. What does it mean, GWT? Given, when, then. This is called functionality. And whatever the scenarios, let's say login scenario is there. How do we write the login scenario? There are four ways it is going to fail. One way only it is successful, one scenario. Your username correct and password correct. But username wrong, password correct. It is a fail scenario. Username correct, wrong with password wrong. This is also failed. These are edge cases, typically we call it as. But only one happy path, success path, the rest of the are edge cases. If you're a BA, if you are able to see the alternative use cases or alternative exceptional cases or edge cases, that's where you are going to be survived, right? And today AI is going to help us, but what is the prompt is very, very important. And acceptance criteria is also linked with the requirements, and design side, where when we are interacting with the users, right? So always we need to introduce the wireframes. Wireframes means, maybe today Google is released Stitch with Stitch. How many of you know? I don't know that. That is also AI-driven um, uh, mockups or wireframes development. It can be connected with Claude also. If the design is ready, like a mockup, when I say a mockup, login screen or registration form or lead transfer, lead conversion, or creating something like with the help of forms. Okay, how the form should look like, how the record should be able to display list, or in kind of a grid or a list. If you design, okay, even we can use the AI. Maybe the tool is Stitch, STICH. Okay, that's the latest Stitch. And there are other tools also, but we will learn both ways, like manually what are the tools we are going to use, where we are going to use something, a pencil at least. Pencil is the tool with which we can do a manually develop the wireframes or mockups. But now we have a Stitch kind of a tools, and Figma is also a very, very popular tool. They are also supporting. Everybody is integrating AI. If you give the prompt, they will generate. But how do you do the prompt is very, very key. Next is life cycle, in the requirement life cycle, in the project life cycle, how the requirements are transitioned from the business requirements to the test case. That is what requirements life cycle. Like we should be able to link the everything, like lineage. You can say that from this is the business requirement, this is the validation happen, test case or test scenario, whatever it is, the link should be there in between what is the spec and how they are related. Okay, so spec links, gap analysis, and completeness, and all the validation you're going to take here. And a database related, this is what data. How do we design the databases? Like what is the ER diagram or a class diagrams? Okay, and what is the relationships among the columns or fields, and among the tables? What the types of relationship? The example is one to one, one to many, many to many kind of a thing. How do I establish these connections between the entities? Like how do I think? That's where we are going to help you. And come to the SQL. SQL is a standard query language, ANSI, American National Standard Institute standard. Irrespective whether what database you are using. What does it mean, a database? Database is a place where we can store the data, like a store, right? Physical data. So logical, you can say, okay, and digital records where you can, I'll give the example, Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle, Postgres is popular today, MySQL bench. Okay, MySQL we are going to teach you here, because giving the access to the Oracle or these things is a license related stuff. That's what we are going to provide you, the login for this MySQL we are going to set up, and where you can do this like all SQL commands, like select, where, having, order by, all these. Why this? Because the business questions needs to be answered. Hey, how many products sold in this particular region? How do I know? Please write the SQL query and detail get it. This is kind of a data analysis with the help of SQL that we are going to cover post this database management and data related stuff. And next is coming to the REST APIs, which is nothing but something which is an integration with the application communication. Like it's a contract between systems. Like today, we are living in a world that integrations. Like, see, if you are ordering something in some retail store that, and if you add something into the basket, it is an item. After that, after completing all your basket items, then you should be able to proceed to the payment gateway, right? So payment gateways belongs to the same MHL. No, it is something a bank related or some third party vendor. They takes care of all the compliances, right? So, and once you put the order, you will receive an SMS, email, and WhatsApp, and all these three notifications are going to come. Where these notifications, again, there is the different integration, like integrations, email integration, SMS integration, WhatsApp integration, banks integration, like payment gateway integration. These are integrations. How these integrations work with the help of API. API is nothing but a contract between the system. Simple principle is that contract. What is a contract? How do you know how the contract look like? Okay, what is a post, get, and what is the status codes, and all we are going to discuss here in the error handling and all. Because you're a tech PA, should I develop the API? Should I develop the databases? Should I tune the databases? No, but we should be able to have the technical skills that already um, Lakshmi showcased in a ChatGPT that what is the tech business analyst skills required, right? And the final, like fifth week, maybe SDLC, software development lifecycle, and again, how the software development lifecycle in the current AI world, like augmented SDLC, we are calling it as an augmented SDLC, like spec-driven development. And Scrum is also a part of SDLC. It is one of the framework. Scrum is nothing but something which is a time-bound like events. Okay, 2 weeks we should be able to ship something, demo something, ship something, a product. Okay, a product means a feature, you can say, or a module at least, like login module or user management module or something, a report module or some dashboard module. What module we are going to develop? Can we develop or no? That's going to be decided in the planning of Scrum planning and all. We are going to talk about all these things. And uh, this come to the AI stuff, like how to AI and IDEs. Like there are multiple IDs coming into the picture. Kiro is one of the ID from AWS, and Anti-Gravity is IDE from Google. And VS Code is, anyway, you know it. It's a Microsoft tool, and there are other tools also available, but the VS Code is the key tool, and they should be integrated with GitHub. How we are going to integrate the GitHub also we're going to talk about, and with which we will give you the some CIC, what is DevOps related stuff, like CICD means, continuous integration and deployment. Okay, in old days we are going to do it in manual, which takes a lot of time and a lot of mistakes happens, errors happens. But nowadays, because of the agile Agile is the, not latest. It's been almost 20 years. We have started adapting it, but almost IT companies, all the tech companies nowadays is an agile companies. Everybody, nobody is practicing waterfall. What is a waterfall? What is an agile? We will talk, very detailed in the next coming up modules. And this is what testing related stuff, like validation of unit test or integration test or end-to-end test, architectural tests, what are different types of tests. So this is like, looks like, covering all, but where do I fit in as a business analyst? Maybe here, you are the people, maybe if I'm not wrong, that you are very learning, BA from very scratch. I'm not sure that. Okay, we need to conduct some survey, but the time we can definitely take that kind of inputs in the next session for sure. I'm learning BA from scratch, so uh, that is a different, like, so we need to handle differently. I need to fix specs because I already know BA, but I wanted to integrate AI. That is also, and I wanted to lead an entire BA team, because maybe so people think that BAs works individually, right? Independently. But no, there could be a team. There is a team. Okay. If it's a large enterprise, products or applications, there are multiple BAs. Okay. There is a practice for BAs, and maybe you can lead the BA based on your experiences. That I'm not sure that what level of experiences you come from, what background you come from, it doesn't matter that, because the level field, the level field is here is a AI. Whether you did a PhD or a BTech or non-BTech or technical or non-technical or a management or an experience or non-experience, it doesn't matter, because AI is today is an expert, which is, but how to make use of that agents, okay, is very, very important, right? So therefore, wherever you come from, it's a fresher or an experience or a mid-level, no problem. Okay, this is mostly tech-driven BA. It's a functional side is there for sure. Okay, though we are not avoiding it, but we are proportionate, like, we composed it properly. That's what maybe the brochure is talks about more detail. Um, right. So, and how this program works, right? So this is what I'm going to give you, that trust me that, because it's been almost 2.5 decades, lot of reflections. Why projects fails? I know why projects fails. The I have 10 core principles. Okay, if you follow that 10 core principles with each principle, core principle, especially for BA practice. Okay, or a tech business analyst or a product owner. It doesn't matter, right? If you're coming from a managerial background or a tech background, okay, or a functional background. So if you follow these 10 core principles, like what are the 10 core principles? Just maybe I can read it out rather than typing it. Uncertainty. How do I minimize the uncertainty? What types of certainties are there? We will talk that concept now, just in a minute, and go deep before wide. That is one principle. There are rules. We can talk about that. And listen more than we talk. Listen. Listen is the key. Okay. Listen and write it down and ask the questions. Maybe frame the questions and ask whenever the time comes, right? So listen more than talk. Clarity versus completeness. Okay, I believe that, so we have learned all these things. I am a perfectionist, like, I do, like, see, I can show you something, during the talk. Uh, I think that I complete everything, but when it goes to the business stakeholders in a workshop or a review meeting, I'll come to know that something is missing. So why? It's a clarity is the key, not the confidence, right? So here it is that, like, maybe if you are able to see this, how the CRM works. How the CRM works. I think this is the diagram which talks. Hope you are everybody wants able to see this, right? So this is one of the tool I used to use, like BPM, business process modeling. I told you that modeling is the module, right? We have modeling module where diagrams, flow diagrams. This is one of the flow diagram. Tell me, to whom I created this diagram, what business question it is going to answer. I'll give the free course, maybe in case if you answer that. It's okay. Okay. I also think the same thing. I covered everything here. But once I been to the clarity, maybe they said that no, 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 company will be created first, then the leads, the contacts will be assigned to the lead. Okay, one company can have multiple leads. One company can have multiple deals. Got you? So what I know, what I know, I know. What I don't know, I don't know, right? So that is very, very important. I don't know, I don't know. It is a possibility or an opportunity to seek from them. But there are rules. You should follow the principles of modeling, right? So clarity is the key. And how many types of modeling, formats are there, and how do I do? When I should be able to do it, to whom I should be able to do it is the key. Okay, I see many BAs that why you're doing this. Even people doesn't know. See, people may ask, hey, what is the symbol? Even business stakeholders. It's not about the symbol. It is all about the business processing, right? So are they learning the diagram or they are learning the business, right? So business analysis is all about understanding the business processes and the systems and their operations, right? And who does what, the cross cutting. Then only we can identify the role matrix, roles in the system and privileges in the system, right? Who access what, which module should have the right read, these kind of CRUD operations. Who should do what? Okay, I have a prompt. I can show you that, how we can extract these things by providing this kind of diagrams and with the help of Claude, how we can, get that. This is uh, clarity versus completeness. But I think it's completed, but no, okay, this is not completed because there are a lot of reviews is happening, open questions are there. Next is done is equal to no more questions. When I say done means what? When you are writing a requirement or a user story, once you write the requirement or a user story, no developer or a tester should come in that during the development time and ask questions. If they are raising the clarifications questions and many, many times frequently, then we are not doing the right job. Okay, but how to minimize that? Follow the principles and the rules. I'll apply those things. Okay, and next is that good design prevents bad data. What does it mean? When we are talking about ER diagrams, right? Identifying the entities, identifying the relationships, and identifying the rules like one to one, one to many, many to many. Okay. So if I don't know that how to do it, it's a bad design, and bad design will be captured, and therefore the bugs, or nobody is going to use the product. It's a flaw, right? So therefore, we should be able to understand the data related data modeling and all. Okay. Next is APIs, contract matters. Contracts. Where I talk about integrations, right? System to system integrations, which we talk about, where the contract is very important. What is the post body should request? Post body. How? What is the parameter should be able to pass in the path? What is the path is all about? What is the error messages? What is the so I'll put it in a simple way because it's a tech, right? So I'll make you understand in a simple and in a short, crisp, and powerful way. Okay. And after that, AI, we are going to use AI amplifies. It does not replace. This is what my principle again. AI is an enhancement as a tool. If you have that, sword, like double edged sword with sharp double edged sword, how to make use of it? People like who hires us, like a lot of firings happens, or layoffs is happening, a lot of things happening, but if I have the latest tool in my hand, people like, got you? So next is metrics. We are talking about dashboards, right? So Power BI tools, how to design the dashboards, how to gather the requirements for building the dashboards, and what types of questions we need to ask. See, metric is not equal to decision driver. What does it mean? Metric means something. It's a number, right? So numbers must be used to make a decision. If there is a number in the dashboard, but it is not useful to make a decision, then there is no use to track that kind of a metric, right? So when we are gathering the requirements or when we are designing the dashboards, always we need to ask questions like based on the principles and the rules. Hey, does this metric really helps us to make decisions? Because dashboards are the tools helps the executive level, manager level people to make the decisions, right? In order to make the decisions, quality decisions, don't make, they don't make decisions very frequent. If they are making, many decisions in a single day, something it's wrong. They will make the quality decisions based on dashboards, maybe insights. Okay. Therefore, the principle is metrics not equal to decision drivers. Okay, let's come back to this. This is all about the program. And now Lakshmi can just take few questions before moving into the next. Okay, let's. Otherwise, they will forget the question, I guess. If it's
Maybe we
fine.
can start with the introduction that the agenda is there, right, TP? And towards the end, we can take
Yeah.
you set up
Right.
this one, right? Yeah, you can
Right.
just to cover these things, which is very, very important. That will just make more like help the people to understand better.
Right. Right.
Thank you.
So okay. This is what we talk about the like about our program and modules and all. Let's come to the PA. Okay, it's already Lakshmi showcased that if you search in the Google, it will show you the list of jobs. I search, what are the jobs available? Here it is, the one of the largest firm, it, that actually they are looking for business technology analyst, EMEARDM. What is this EMEARDM? They are the regions kind of a thing, okay? Transformation business. But end of the day, business analyst. Location is, they look for different locations, Melbourne or US or Hyderabad. And these are the list of a lot of listing in terms of business. Okay, here it is more okay because I'm not covering that who is a business analyst, right? So the definition, formal definition. If you are looking for a formal definition, as per the IIBA and BEBOK, maybe how many of you know? I don't know. IIBA, BEBOK is there. Okay, this is the guiding IIBA. Okay, PEBOK. Maybe this is also we are going to share if required. This is the IABA is the regulatory, not regulatory. It's a body, you can say. If you are looking for kind of a certifications, there are levels of certifications at an entry level, mid level, and senior level certifications. Okay, I also did my certifications from here. I have two certifications from here. This is all about the analysis everywhere, events, and communities. This is what it gives the certification. It will, there is a process actually how to do it. Okay, they have the book by the name BABOK, BABOK. BABOK means which is Business Analysis Body of Knowledge. So they created, knowledge areas. There are 6 knowledge areas, and there are 30 techniques, 50 techniques, and 30 tasks, and there is, competency, underlying competency, skills, and lot of things were ideal. So if I certified and can I come into the industry and can I apply? No, practically they are different. But certification, yes, we can do it if required. According to them, like what is a business analysis? Business analysis is a practice of enabling change. If you need to take a note, you can take it out. Because earlier the definition was different, is a bridge between the technical and the business stakeholders. Bridge or a liaison. They are going to use the word called liaison or a bridge. But this is changed. Okay, this is changed. Maybe 3 to 4 years back, it is actually BA, let's say, is the one who is the bridge. Okay, is the bridge between the business stakeholders. Okay, you can think of business stakeholders. Who is your point of contact, who can provide the requirements to you, and you are the BA. You are the part of, sorry, you are the part of the software development company, like maybe Cognizant, you can think of, or Infosys, and so there are many large companies, right? So there you are the part of it. Who hires a business analyst? The tech companies are going to hire the BS, and he is the bridge between the tech and the business. Maybe I can elaborate into the next slide that what exactly the process works with BA and the stakeholders. Okay, but this the definition is business analyst is like a practice of business analysis is all about practice of enabling change. Who is business analyst? Who practice that? Okay, who is the one who practices that? Okay, business analysis is the practice of enabling change. He is the change driver by defining needs and requirements or specification you can think of. Okay, by enabling the change, by defining the needs and the specifications. Okay, and bringing the change and recommending the solutions also. Okay, recommending solutions. Here, technical business analyst is a hybrid professional who bridges the gap between the company's business goals and its IT implementation. It is a Google definition, but as per the above definition, it's a little different. Okay, slightly, it's a different. They translate high-level business needs into actionable, detailed technical requirements that software developers and engineers can execute. What does it mean? That's what I create. The terminology I've used is a upstream and a downstream. Please remember, high level or low level. Upstream is all about like business stakeholders who can provide, not provide that. We, as a business analyst, we should be able to elicit all the needs and requirements or specifications from the business side and should be able to communicate back, not back to the development team or engineering team. Okay, earlier we call it as an engineering teams and or technical teams. Maybe today we are software, augmented software, where we are writing requirements for agents. Please remember this word. Okay, we are living in an AI world. You should be able to spec clear. Earlier, no problem because there were humans involved, but today the team sizes are less, maybe. Okay, or the team same sizes, maybe adding AI agents. Okay, adding AI agents for code reviews and validations and a lot of things. Okay, therefore, we should be very clear how to spec the requirements based on the business requirements. That's what translate the high level business, high stream, top high level business requirements into actionable. We will show you that how to do it. Okay, this is what. And let's come the job I picked up some small and responsibility and more skills that required for a business analyst in the job description. Okay. So clear that hope you are able to, we are on the same page, right? So, hello. Okay. Hi, Lakshmi. Is it fine that I'm able to, am I audible? All of you? Right. Now, let's, hello. I'm audible?
Yes. Yes, GP.
Yes. Okay. Lakshmi. Okay. Let me proceed. Okay, this is the skill set that they are looking for. So if you go and search the tech business analyst or IT business analyst or a software business analyst, you will find a similar kind of a skill set and roles and responsibilities. What they are looking for. Okay, let me. Right. So hope you are clear here, and we will talk about the roles and responsibilities, quick roles and responsibilities. Here it is that I'm highlighting that the translation business requirements for the project. What is a project? Project is a temporary endeavor. It's not a process. Process means the repeated cycles. But project is not like that. Project is a set of defined activities that will be carried by a set of people. Okay, please remember, project is a temporary endeavor. Again, this definition is from PMI, Project Management Institute, and the WebOC, the IAB. Same. There is no difference. Okay, it's a temporary endeavor which delivers some result or an outcome. Here we are talking about software projects, not civil other projects. Okay, it's an automobile project or something like that. Okay, so here it is. The project is all about software project. Within the software project, what are the requirements for software that we are going to build? Okay, and next you should be able to spec the functionalities, spec SRS, system specification. Okay, how it should behave, and you should be able to act like a bridge. See this liaison between various project stakeholders. Who are the project stakeholders? The development team, you can think, testers, okay, architects. These are the people who are your stakeholders as per the business requirements using agile methodology, agile scrum, because wherever you go, every job description will have this agile. Okay, these are the key. Maybe you can think of hard skills or soft skills or responsibilities. So you should be able to translate what business wants to achieve into a technical requirements, right? So into the form of specs, business requirements and specifications. And you should be like act like a bridge between the both, like liaison between the customer or the client or a product owner, between the technical engineering teams or a technical teams. Typically, it's a project teams. Okay. And what are the skills you should be able to have? This is what almost all job descriptions looks for this: problem solving and solid analytical skills. Analytical thinking and decision making is the key. So, what is analytical thinking? So I'll show you that, like, what is analysis? What is analysis? What is the definition of analysis? Analysis is all about, okay, analysis is all about what? Whole and its parts. Yes, how many of you agree? Whole and its parts. Maybe whole is this. Maybe it is connected, right? So some parts. Okay. Let's say if you look at an organization, within the organization, there may be sales, marketing, operations, and one more department, which is BDM, and another department, finance department and accounts department. Okay, they will be connected each other, integrated each other, and work together, right? As a business organization. Okay, organization is nothing but a structured and behavior. Okay, structure and behavior, that's what we are calling it as business organization. So if you understand the whole and its parts, when I say parts means, so what is its functions, like departments, maybe who was the head of the departments and who does what in the departments, how they are cross cutting, like connected with other departments. Let's say sales is there, sales function, sales part is there. Okay, sales, once the sales is closed, they sold and they created a deal, and the deal is going to be send it to the accounts, that for the some account management, raising the invoices against some milestones. That is the connection between them. As a business analyst, analysis is all about whole and its parts, right? So breaking down whole and its parts. If you try to analyze any business organization, break it the whole organization, maybe a small sales organization, or maybe a accounts organization, or a marketing and sales, or a business development, or an operations department, you can break it down at subdomain level. Okay, but analysis is all about whole and its parts. Please remember these definitions, small definitions: whole and its parts. What is synthesis? Synthesize. Synthesize is that, is all about that putting together whatever the parts we have, sync, like putting it together back. Okay, that is the key difference between analysis and synthesis. Synthesis is all about the parts and connecting back to the whole. Okay, that's what the game is all about. As a business analyst, you should be able to have this mindset that if anything which you're given to you is always break it down. See this, we break down into multiple tabs here, right? So why? Because if I write it everything in the same page or at same tab, maybe it's a clumsy, right? So always break it down and bring it back. That's what we are synthesizing now from the 1 hour or 2 hours back. We started synthesizing all this. What is what is about myself, what is about the program is all about now, what is about the BA, and what is the roles and responsibilities. Now we are connecting, one by one dots. We are synthesizing. And finally, you will get something. Oh, this is what the whole program is all about, that, right? I'm not doing the analysis now, right? So I'm doing the synthesis. Yes. So you can apply it, wherever you are. And this is very important. Problem solving is required, something strong analytical skills and decision making skills. Okay. They're also asking ability to analyze and document complete business processes, means of flow diagrams. They're looking for ability to gather and interpret the relevant data, information, right? And advanced skills, MS Word and Outlook and blah, blah, blah. They are very, okay, internal tools, office productivity tools, and SQL is the key. SQL is the new, uh, uh, they are looking for. Earlier, so if you look at the, 10 years back, so we used to train for the last 15 to 16 years in the same domain. But when you look at the job description of BA, we don't see the SQL and these things. Okay, relational database and some other skills like ability to break down the complex issues, problems into manageable components, blah, blah, blah. They are asking, right? So the point here is that this is what the main roles, and the skills is communication, collaboration, and problem solving and analytical skills. With this, SQL and API and dashboard skills are required. Okay, hope this is clear. And the next come to the tech project is all. Maybe quickly we will understand the project is all. So every project, wherever you go, in maybe in automobile or a civil or a tech, typically we follow the same thing, like initiation of the project, planning of the project, execution of the project, and monitoring and control, and finally closure. Okay, so in software we follow the same stages. What are the 4 stages, 5 stages of a project? Maybe in interview, they might ask you, if you're going for an interview, you may face different interview questions, right? What are the stages? Maybe initiation phase, planning phase, and execution phase, and monitoring and control. Okay, and closure. So here it is the very discovery and definition phase typically, and this is where mostly it is a specking and where the requirements are going to be more refined here. Okay. Okay, it is a spec. Okay, specs, maybe you should be able to write the specs here mostly. So when I say specs, maybe user stories here, the acceptance criteria and markups, and based on the high level discovery. Maybe here it is, you can think of like BRD is there. Assume that you have a BRD. What is BRD? Business require business requirements document. So should I develop this BRD, or is it going to come from the client? Okay, most of the time it is going to be prepared by the BRD typically. Otherwise, if there is no BID, it's a small project or small iteration, small size projects. Maybe do they maintain the BID? It depends. Okay, all the time it's a trade-offs. Okay, it depends on the nature of the company, nature of the project, and size of the complexity of the project, size of the project, and all will be decided. But today, do we have the BIDs? In agile world, okay, we are creating the documentation during the project cycle. But in big companies, large companies, a BRT is required because it's a audit processes. Audit is required for process audits. They need this BRDs, okay, to follow the processes. CMM level 3 onwards. CMM level 3 companies are there, 4 companies are there, 5 companies are there. CMM level 5 company means it's maybe in India we can call it as a TCS. In Infosys, they are level 5 companies. Essential, they are level 5 companies. Means what? They follow the standards, quality standards. Quality standards means they follow every practice like documentation. Okay. And business continuity is the key. Okay. Business continuity. So therefore, this BRD is going to come here, and this is mostly the project controlling, and the finally it is closure. Closure means something once the testing everything is done, like the project is going to be closed by delivering this. See, these are the typical phases. Define business requirements, define non-functional requirements, that's very key. Okay, and designing the architecture and designing the backend specification. Typical, okay, software project will be followed by this. Typical software, we follow these things. Okay, maybe in software, even spec-driven development also, this is the process we supposed to follow. First, BRD is the key. What is the business requirements? First of all, what is the clarifications that required? Then what are the non-functional? This is the tech, more technical, which is typically architect writes the best, these non-functional requirements. Maybe BA is going to help, but if you are a tech PA, maybe you should be able to help, like, writing the API requirements and database data requirements, or dashboards requirements, or a reporting requirements also. Okay. And some performance related requirements, data backup related requirements, and compliance related requirements, regulatory related requirements also comes. And design the architecture is only followed by these 2 steps. No architecture system design is not high level deployment or design. System design is not going to work, okay, without business requirements document and non-functional requirements, because every architecture is a unique based on the business requirements and the non-functional requirements. Please understand. Okay, typically nowadays most of the architects I see that microservices means microservices. Okay, but no, sometimes modular monolith or vertical slicing, there are different architectural styles also going to work. I'll give you an example. Let's say There is a client we are working currently that actually they are looking for a software that should only run within their intranet, only local to them, not the cloud or public cloud. No, it's not kind of a web accessible everywhere. No mobility and everything. It should be restricted to into their organization. Then microservices is not required, right? So therefore, the trade-offs is going to change based on the business requirements and non-functional requirements. If the requirements are captured well, okay, without uncertainty, okay, properly specified, okay, with definition of done, then the architecture is the clean, okay. Then the backend specifications comes into the picture. They are more of a tech like stack, like is it a React front end, backend is a .NET API, and what is the SSO single sign-on, or what kind of a login security mechanism are going to come, and infrastructure side, everything comes into the backend specifications, and later the front-end specifications comes into the picture. Okay, these are typical software development which we are talking about. More details will talk. So all these will be carried out as we have already discussed. What is a project? The definition of project is this: project is a temporary endeavor with a definite timeline, a start date and end date. A project is always an indefinite initiative, endeavor. Okay, no, sorry. Okay, it's a fixed start date and end date within which the project needs to be completed. Tech project I'm talking about, okay, not automobile or anything. This is a tech project which supposed to be like this is what always I bring it up, like maybe how this. Okay, I'll explain this now. The Lakshmi explained the same. Okay, I'll repeat the same thing, maybe little bit. Here it is. Who is this team? So let me explain. These are the stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders? First of all, these are the business stakeholders. Okay, these are the business stakeholders as client, you can say, as Lakshmi mentioned earlier in the very beginning. These are the people who always comes up with needs or requirements. Typically, we call it as stakeholders. Okay, please remember, maybe this terminology is going to change. Stakeholders, business stakeholders, you can say. I'm talking about the upstream, right? So they have the needs, requirements like this. Okay. Okay, these are the requirements with the different sizes and different costs. And maybe requirement, when we talk about the requirement, they are different sizes, different shape. When I say shape and sizes, they are complex sometimes. They are simple sometimes. Okay, they are not important sometimes. They are urgent sometimes. They are regulatory sometimes. They are integration sometimes. Okay, there are different types of requirements comes from this business stakeholders. Okay, here it is. Maybe I'm thinking it's a is a BA you can think of. Okay, my stylish is wrong. Let me label it is in the diagram. This is you can think of slash B. Think of, okay, right. Here it is, the one who acts bridge between the technical teams, right? These are the downstream, like dev team. Think of like developers, architect, QAs, maybe design, like graphic designers or web designers. This is the typical team. Maybe in the Scrum and Agile, there is 5 to 6 people or 7 people maximum or 9 sometimes. It depends, but company to company according to the text and the book, which is plus or minus 6 or 7, right? Here it is the team. Here it is the people who are the business stakeholders who provides the information. I don't say it's a requirements typically because they provide the information. If you have the elicitation techniques, like by conducting workshop or by conducting observation, by do some elicitation techniques. That's what I call it as an elicitation is all about obtaining information. As per the book definition, elicitation is all about obtaining the information. How do you obtain? Through the workshop or through the questionnaires, through the surveys, through the there a lot of list of techniques are there. When we are going to apply the techniques, we are going to teach you, but with the help of the techniques, you are going to refine those requirements into sizing those requirements, okay, with the clarifications. Please understand this. My first principle is uncertainty. Reduce the uncertainty or minimize the uncertainty. So there are these requirements comes with lot of certainties, lot of ambiguities, lot of conflicts. Therefore, we should be able to have open questions. We should be able to have a questionnaire and ask that questions, clarify that questions, and wait for the answers and refine into. If some questions maybe will be deferred, like hey, we don't need this. Okay, who gave this? Maybe this is a conflict or an ambiguity. We don't need this. Okay, they are duplicate. Maybe they can be eliminated. It's a trash can here. Okay, this is what the BA job is all about. Like, and we should be able to refine those requirements here in a proper pipeline, and they are definition of them. That's what DOD, I am calling it as clarity with definition of sorry, definition of readiness, DOR. DOR will be the definition of ready, and the development team starts and comes and starts estimating the, like, how much time does it take this each requirement to develop. And if you are a good BA, not good BA, if based on the situation, maybe we clarified every requirement and put it the spec very clear, then the lesser the questions. The more the clarity, the lesser the questions. This is the relation between the requirements and the development team. Okay, the BA and the development team. So therefore, they pick up within 2 weeks or 4 weeks is the maximum in Agile Scrum. They will pick it up, one or two, this part and this one, maybe they will pick it up and maybe they will develop and give an output. This is agile works in an iterative and incremental way. Small iterations, small outcomes. It's a loop. Typically, it's a system, okay, where the loop is going to be connected here, and the business stakeholders see the outcome, the small shipment, small increment, small. Let's say one module is there. Example is that login module is there. This login module is developed by 4 developers or 2 developers, one tester, and you also part of here, and you can showcase how the login works. Then this guy is going to take that and again give the feedback. This is the cycle. This is the system. This is agile and scrum system works like this. And in case if he's happy, okay, and if he's not happy, he may ask the changes. Because I, in the very first opening, my statement is there is a key difference between software project development and the other manufacturing, physical manufacturing, okay, physical productions. And software production is little bit, not little bit, it different, because it's a virtual in nature. So maybe this is not works with car company, only works with software companies. Okay, this is not going to work with civil companies. Can you build something and showcase to the customer and hey, and they come back and they know, hey, close this? No, this is not going to work there. Physical construction, anything which is physical in nature, okay, there is a different process. But here, agile and scrum is successful in IT industry because of this system. Loop is there, okay, and feedback mechanism is there, and most and almost all the times the people, the stakeholders, the business guys are going to be showcased, show and tell, hey, this is what the login module we developed, and see. And if you are okay, we will move to the next. We will move to the next. And finally, we will build the reports and dashboards. If the dashboards is the last one, let's say, prioritized, there is a prioritization also. There is a technique we call it as Masco technique. We will talk about that in prioritization technique. So if the last one is, let's say, assume that it's a dashboard requirement. Once the dashboard is completed, hey, I'm happy. and all the small shippable items, outcomes as a software, small modules will become a big software and they can start using it. Okay, so this is not easy, and at the same time, okay, there is a lot of things. I'll show you the different world, what kind of world we are living. I can show you. There are risks will be there, business risk, social risk, tech risk, and cost, schedule, and a lot of decisions will be changed during the process, right? So if that the whatever the software they are building, if it's not coming up the way they are expected, they maybe stop the project. So anything can happen. That's what you are a BA. The communication and the collaboration is the key. Okay, how do I minimize or reduce uncertainties? Okay, because the outcome is very important. If I don't see what is the output, that the software output, envision the software output, it's not so easy. Maybe you need to introduce a mock-up or a diagram, right? There you should be able to show the end users, hey, login looks like this, is it happy? Okay, then only you will give it to the developers. Let's say show the business workflow to the managers, hey, this is the workflow it should look like, is it okay for you? Then only we will write the requirements. We will show the context diagram to the executive level. This is the overall system it should look like. Is it okay? Is it why my understanding correct and you're also in the same page? Then this is the clarity is the key with the help of modeling. Modeling is the key for business analysis. And today it's very easy with the help of AI. Trust me, it is 10x faster. You can do it. If you want to analyze a BRD, it takes a lot of time, but it is very easy nowadays. Okay. Hope you understand the cycle, software development life cycle, how it works in a nutshell with the uh, help of this diagram. Okay. Eh, Right. These are the roles typically involved. And how many of you know Buka? There is a concept called VUCA. How many know this VUCA concept? VUCA. VUCA is, let me maximize VUCA. This is where you live in the world of software development. VUCA. V means volatility because uncertain. See this, the challenge is unexpected or unstable and maybe unknown duration, but it's not necessarily hard to understand, unable to predict the outcome. Simple. I'm putting it in a simple word is volatility means unable to predict the outcome. Let's say example is stock markets today. Okay. Nobody is able to predict what is the gold market, oil market, or a silver market, or a stocks market. Okay, even Musk is coming up with a new IPO. It's $1 billion valuation. The how the impact, so how the funds are going to move from global markets, nobody knows it, right? So maybe that is I'm talking about whole economy, but in tech project is also applicable. The same volatility. The product owner or a business stakeholder today says this is, I want this login module like this, but tomorrow is going to change some buttons and blah 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 blah. Okay, that's what the sign off is the key. Sign off with clarity. How do I get the clarity? If you minimize the uncertainty, how do I uncertainty? What types of uncertainties are there? How do I handle those? Questionnaire. How do I prepare a questionnaire? There is a technique. Trust us, we are going to teach you all this. And uncertainty, these are the very key culprits that they are going to produce bugs, or a cost of fixing a bug is more costlier than the development. Please understand this. Okay, that's what bugs, less bugs means less. Okay, the less bugs, more quality product. End of the day, every product, software product, should be quality enough, right? So therefore the requirement specifications must be clear, eliminating uncertainties, eliminating volatility. Okay, and taking the sign off and defining very clear specs that make sense in a VUCA world. And complexity and ambiguity. What does it mean, complexity and ambiguity? Complexity is all about, see, multiple people, multiple modules, multiple big things. I can show you a BRD also, and then tomorrow, how the complexity looks like. Just recently, last week, we received a BRD. That's very complex. It is simple. They said there is a business development related stuff, but they've involved like accounts, finance, and they talk about customer, client, and different terminologies and different people involved in it. So when we say what is the definition of complexity, many things involved, right? So many relationships, many structure is something which is messy. Then we call it as the behavior is messy, then it's a complexity. The situation has many interconnected parts, right? So I told you that what is analysis? Analysis is all about connecting parts, right? So and breaking down into parts and analyzing it. Synthesize is nothing but connecting the dots back, right? Here, complexity. When there is a complexity, what technique you're going to use? Simple. Always you need to break down. That's what the problem solving mindset comes into the picture. You never solve a problem that if it is in complex state, right? So always break it down. And maybe you can create a diagram to solve that problem. Like particular this audience, I wanted to clarify these questions. I wanted to draw a diagram like this. This is what the diagram I am completing, not yet completed. Try to understand based on the BRT. Do you believe this? This is now in progress actually. Hey, how the contact is created, how the deal is created, how the lead is updated. What is the process? Based on your requirement document, BRD, this is what my understanding. Is it the same understanding you have? For you, I'm creating this. This is for a manager I'm creating, business development manager I'm creating this because it is a CRM, customer relationship management we are developing. So I'm creating this only diagram for manager, not the end user, not the executive guy. This is for managerial view, all cutting edge, like multiple people. Maybe who does what here, I don't know. Next question is that who does what? But to get the clarity, because they gave like complete operations as a BRD document, but I broke down into multiple modules, and I'm analyzing now, trying to understand that the business process flow from the managerial side, because the problem which we can solve either top down or a bottom approach. I'm solving this problem from top down approach, not the bottom up. Okay, top down means executives are suffering that the visibility. What is the problem which a high level problem which we are solving with this company is that executive level business development, top level guys, okay, directors, they are suffering with visibility. How many leads coming? They have a 50 team, business development team. Which lead is coming, to whom it is assigned, till what level that is reached? Is it assigned to something, a lead, or what is the task that they are carrying? Are they contacted or not? There is no visibility. So the problem is from the top down, top. So we started interacting with top, and they said clearly this is what my problem at a context level. Then we are now talking to the manager in the business development managerial layer and asking them a lot of questions by depicting this. Then only we will get the clarity. Then only we will get the clear requirements first. Then only we can write the specs. Then only architecture comes. Then only the development coding happens. Hope you understand what is business analysis all by now, right? Come back to this VUCA word. The complexity is always skewed. Okay, that is what either left or right, we don't know the distribution. And ambiguity. What is ambiguity? This is unclear. Unclear means I asked them question because I don't want to open the chart with them, that I asked who does what. I'm not clear that. And again, this is ambiguity, that client customer. What is the difference between customer and the client? Right? So you are using the word sometimes, customer, and sometimes you are using it, client. What does it mean? What is the difference? You are using lead, inquiry. What is the key difference between lead and an inquiry? INQRY or ENQRY? What is the difference? some places in BRD use ENQ or inquiry flow workflow, and some places you use the lead, and some places you use the contact. What these are, these entities? First, domain understanding is the very important key entities, and how, what they are, and why they exist there, and what is the relationships with the other entities, where they come from, which function, which department, which area. If you ask these questions, trust me, like, we have something which is clear, how to frame questions, okay, how to clarify those questions. Wait, because architecture is completely depend on this. If the architecture is right, the solution is easy. Okay, that's what we are living in a VUCA world. Therefore, as a business analyst, I should be able to solve this volatility, uncertainty, complexity, ambiguity issues. Okay, handle these things. How do? It's, I have principles. I have already mentioned I have principles. We are talking about the first principle: reduce uncertainty, go deep before wide, listen more than talk, clarity versus completeness. Done. No more questions, right? Once you've done the user story, no more questions. Good design, whether it is a database design or architecture, like whole architecture, but we are not going to design anything, but we are helping the architects that this is what the BRD or this is what the requirements is all about, right? So top stream, top level is expecting this. And APIs, this is what something in integrations they are looking for. A contracts. API is all about contracts between systems, integrations, right? So this is what they are looking for: notification integration, notification or email integration, Outlook integration, or web API, so payment gateway integrations, right? And uh, dashboards, they are looking for this kind of reports and dashboards. I gathered the requirements very clear. This is what we should be able to design accordingly. Architectural decision and non-functional requirements are very important, like the performance of the system, availability of the system, how many key users, the cryptography, like security, all this comes into. But whom we should be able to pull into the situation is the intelligence. I will teach you that, like, how to collaborate with people, what is my responsibility as a BA, and what is not my responsibilities. Clear, we should be able to have, should not have this role conflict, first of all. Okay, we should not get into other boundary. Scope should be very clear. As a business analyst, my scope is this: spec. Today we are working with the agents, co-pilots. Are you clear? Can you hear me? Or
Yes,
hello?
TP, we are good.
Hello.
Yeah, TP, we are good. We can hear you.
Okay, right. I'll
Yeah.
proceed and quickly I'll move to the next, because right, this is something which we are talking about. Okay, tech business analyst and project, right? So why projects fails? Because of this reason, because of lot of uncertainties, lot of ambiguities, lot of complexity, so a lot of things. So AI will help us how to make use of AI. I can show you that how, why projects fail is because we are talking about. And let's introduce that what is the requirements, key difference quickly we can. And next, what is the, maybe we can talk about latest one, which is, this is what, okay, spec driven development. What is spec driven development? Today we are talking about SDD, the source of truth for AI coding. Because now, are we writing the requirements for human beings, human developers? Maybe yes, it's a hybrid now. Maybe in future it's completely AI agents, I don't know. But uh, yes, as Lakshmi mentioned, that if you write a Java code, it's writing. But I told you that why it fails also, because it doesn't know the context, it doesn't know the architectural styles, it doesn't know a lot of tech stack and blah 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 blah. Okay, we should be able to specify it. Okay, we will go one by one. How to build that with completely with Claude. Claude is I'm going to use. I have a license, and Copilot also I have a license. I can show you. But maybe I don't ask you to do the complete thing what I'm going to do it, because it requires some uh, like the tools are an extension, so I can show you that. Okay, right. spec driven development is represents a, it is a shift happening how we approach software development, especially in the age of AI assisted programming. Okay, earlier maybe you heard of the paid programming, right? So what was paid programming? It's a XP, right? So we have a type of process, software development process, a system where paid programming, two programmers, one programmer thinks and another programmer codes, and another programmer thinks and codes and another programmer thinks. It's a paid programming earlier, but I've never involved in that. But there is a concept, IBM. But now it is changed because of AI. Today, Claude code is the top notch. Opus, maybe how many of you heard the Opus 4.5? I don't know exactly the. Okay, I can show you just in a few minutes. Opus is the latest one with which the code is almost all, it's a more better than the developer. I'm using it, I can tell you that. Okay, so this is what the latest shift that like ditch the vibe coding because of this like specs. This is the like the messy things. Okay, and spec driven development separate the what from how. So requirements always talks about what. I told you that what is the difference between a spec and a requirement. Requirement, business requirement means what business wants to achieve. Hey, I want a login. A system should be able to work fine. But it's a not clear requirement, but a lot of questions will be, clarifications will be there. But what from the business is the key, then how is very, very important. How means like what? Describe the system is system requirements. This is the BA role is all about here. Okay, this is the key because today if you well spec, then no need to write the code. Okay, well spec, that's what I, my statement is always that write specs not code. That is the biggest transformation, biggest shift is happening in the world. That what then focuses on the execution. High precision context for AI agents. Today, this is what, when compared with last year, today the agents are very intelligent. Actually, Claude is releasing one by one. And the Gemini, like not Gemini, it's a Google is also coming up the very sharp, okay, models with which, okay, not all models works in the same way. One model works for good, one good for some analysis, planning, and other for something execution, some for validation. Okay, I can show you something. Okay, in a minute. And use specs as quality gates. See, the quality left shift, this is actually right shift. Earlier, like the testers team is going to be sit there and they validate all the time that whatever the ship the product, like the just now we talk about that, like small iterations in the SDLC agile, that small output shipped product or like let's say login module is there. Login module will be tested by the testers and they raise the bugs, and again developers is going to fix and blah 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 blah. But here use specs as a quality gauge. You write the spec with clear acceptance criteria with all the edge cases. We don't need to write. Even the AI is helping us. Okay, we can just, only thing is you should be augmented. Augmented means you are the part in the assistance, like hey, wait, I'll give the decision. Decision will be made by us. AI will only help us to generate. Gen AI we are talking about, okay? Gen AI, it generates either a plan or a action. It depends completely discretion on the human being. Okay, without which no. That's what responsible AI the Claude was talking about. Okay, no complete autonomous or automation. No, this is human augmented. That's what augmented SDLC nowadays we are calling it. That's the future. Okay, augmented SDLC. I know how to work with the agents. I know the tools like VS Code, GitHub, and these models. And I know the plan, modes of the models, how they work, right? This is what now we are moving towards. The key differences of specification and all. I'm not going to go by like these texts. We are going to share this kind of things. Okay, let me I show you a quick demo. Here it is. I can close, or I can use this same close out. Okay. Let's say I have a licensed, okay, here it is. This is my CLAUDE, which is integrated in the VS Code. I'll show you that how to set up all these tools. Okay, in the next sessions, we will talk. Okay, this is the, okay, I'll give a simple BRD. Let's add, this is, hope you're following this. Okay, I've set up a CLAUDE licensed thing, and this is a, okay, just this is a sample to you. My task is just, I got a BRD. It's a complex, let's say. Maybe I've downloaded it. It's my, okay, here it is, lab dash. Okay, lab dash, maybe this is a BRD. Let me upload my computer, and this is the downloaded documents. It's a, okay, demo I'm talking about. Okay, what is the lab dash about? I don't know. Okay, and I can bring a prompt which is already showcased to you. Just quick prompt. This is first, the step is that, see, define business requirements, right? So there is a BRD is there. Maybe if it's not, there is no BRD, we can generate a BRD. What sections will be there? I'll explain what is a BRD, what sections will be there and all. But I'm leveraging the 10x productivity with AI. This is what I'm repeating. I'm leveraging the AI, maybe the CLAUDE, detail is CLAUDE, and with which I can improve my productivity 10x. Whatever I can do in 10 hours, I can do it in an hour. Whatever I can do it in an hour, maybe I can do it in 10 minutes or something like that. Okay. This is what every project starts with requirements, regardless of whether we use it or not. Skip this step if we, or okay. This, see this is just, I'm going to copy what I will give, because as a BA, this is what supposed to be, right? So please go, I'll go ahead with this. I've uploaded the BIT document. See this, if you are able to read this, you are a senior business analyst reviewing. Okay, you can ask me, hey DP, I don't know this, how to create this prompt and all. We will teach you the prompt engineering as a one quick module there. Okay, we can do it like, what is the rules, like building blocks of prompt engineering in GenAI, how to, we have the prompt library also for BAs. We are going to share you that, in order to research or generate reports or blah, 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 blah. But this is an example of a demo that how the CLAUDE code, which is going to use this my lab dash. I don't know exactly that, it's my engineering son like is doing it. Is a senior business analyst. Read the attached BRD and analyze. Analyze means what? Break it down that, and whole. Yeah, that's what the definition of analysis. Analysis is all about whole and its parts. Okay. I'm not asking synthesize, right? So for each feature, identify and document. Here, this is what document all user roles and permissions. Because as a BA, this is what my job is, to understand what are the user roles in our software application. That is a key. Okay. And their permissions. Next is core entities, and this is database related stuff. Okay. Core entities and their relationships, because the structure is the very, very important for any engineering thing, right? So core entities, complete user workflow step by step. And next, business rules and validations and constraints. In case any business rules and validation, then and edge cases and error scenarios. Analyze only. I'm not talking about the generating. Just analyze and any ambiguities because VUCA. VUCA means like that volatility, uncertainty, conflict, and ambiguity are the keys, right? Present me an analysis in a structured document, okay, for each flag ever ambiguity. See this? This is the key because byproducts fail uncertainty and ambiguities or conflicts. Okay, the example I gave you that ambiguity means ledger and account. What is the key difference between a ledger and accounts in an accounting domain? Okay, what is a customer and a client in a business development or a customer relationship management domain? There is a ambiguities or some conflicts, right? So for every ambiguity, clarification needed tag so we can resolve it for moving the architecture. I told you that the good architecture, the decisions, trade-offs, everything, what database, what APIs, what kind of APIs, what databases, what is the cost, viability is the key, right? So technical feasibility and viability. Viability means is it commercially is it viable? If I am developing and implementing the infrastructure cost for the next 5 years is something which is 100K, maybe for 2 to 3 users, it's not viable, right? So something like see another point of which I'm talking about is I don't want to use edit automatically. See this? This is what the key small change, because this is the way we should be able to know how to use the tools because they're double-edged swords, right? So otherwise it's do differently for you. Therefore, I'm very consciously selecting the plan mode, not the execution mode. Just this is what spec-driven development comes into the picture. First, plan. Okay, plan, execute. Analyze, plan, execute. Analyze, plan, execute. So that is what old way, but it's a same. Any project, plan, do, execute, and check. Plan, do, execute, and check. Plan, do, execute, and check. The same thing. Now we are analyzing in a plan mode and clearly given the prompt. Prompt is a specific instruction to the LLM, large language model, which I'm using CLAUDE. See this show commands, or I can choose the models also. There are different models are there. Okay, there which model I wanted to use we can. But here the key is plan mode. Let's wait. How it takes. So it takes time and it generates maybe in the same root folder. Maybe we should be able to organize these folders, how to open, how to integrate with this this particular VS code. And there are other tools also like anti-gravity. Okay, this is one more tool similar to the VSS code but which is from Google, anti-gravity. And the Hero is from AWS. Okay, these are same category of tools which are IDEs, integrated development environment. See this? I'll start by understanding the working directory. Same. See this? The pattern and directory context, analyze BRD and plan the deliverables. This is a tech BA teaching demo. Let me look at the most relevant files, understands, and see this, whatever the files that are here, which is picking it up and routing. And this is the skills. We call it as skills, right? So it automatically picking it up and learning from the sources. But I don't know these sources are going to be helpful for this. Okay. See, this is the beauty of plan mode. If you go in the web interface in the cloud, if you're a licensed, but you don't see this plan mode and all. See this markdown file in a project. Okay. And SDD ready, recommended. See this? And core 6 sections, so thorough coverage of exactly 6 requested sections, clarification needed, yes. Or this one, this is a trade-off, right? So who is making decision here? The human. This is what, the augmentation. The human is the decision maker. The tool is just a kind of a leverage. Okay, it's not going to replace human. It is just a tool, one more tool, which is a sharpest tool. That's it's not just an information. This is something reasoning capabilities. This is just having something capabilities that the similar to the human cognitive system. Simple as that. But end of the day, the decision is made by the human. This is what responsible AI and augmented SDLC, augmented AI, whatever it is you can call it as. See this. Do you? No, no, no. I want whatever the sections I gave it, right? So follow that, not the this one. Okay, 6 sections plus. Maybe this is the best approach, hybrid approach. Whatever the 6 sections I gave that, right? So roles, responsibilities, matrix, also this particular SDD. Okay, submit answers. Now let's wait what it will come with, and it takes time for sure. And by the time I may answer this question, that last one asked this question, what is the cost of, right? Yes, this is something. It starts with Claude starts with $20 per month. Okay, subscription, and some $100 is also there per month with the teams, individuals and teams. Okay, now let's say you purchased it $20 per month, maybe in a per year something, they are giving it for something else. Okay, some discount of 20% or something like that. Today, if I give a big, large, very complex BRD document update uploaded, maybe it's a 100 pages, let's say, or 200 pages, definitely it will tell us that, hey, the limit, you crossed your limit, 100% usage limit. Okay, please wait for 2 hours or something, 1 hour or something like that, right? So see this again, this is asking, hey, accept this plan, yes, and auto accept, yes, and manually approve edits, let's no keep planning or something like that. No, let's say no, because of the keeping the time in mind, I'm making it. And decision is made by us. Like I found one very interesting thing with this is that next, when you are charting something else, maybe you change your mind and give it something a different, means it will tell you, hey man, the other day I showcased this prompt, but you only the guy who given this proceed, sign off. You are the one, you proceed. Then only I generated it, because it doesn't take any blame, because human is the loop, right? So therefore they're very, now they've trained like that. They're trying. Maybe in 1 or 2 years, they are very, very fine-tuned for sure. That's where we should be able to be very conscious that when we are making, hey, let's wait, because that's where your domain skills comes into the picture. Okay, I'll share by the time it is reading, because I'll close this question, that actually the cost of development. Yes, if I use many things in the same model, maybe yes, cost is high. Maybe it's $100 per month or something else. There are different plans, but there is a limitation. Okay. If I use small DRDs to analyze like this and generate architectures and all, it's fine. No problem. Maybe it's sometimes it will say that it's a, hey, where it will take less tokens, because why it says that how the LLMs works. Okay, I'm not getting into the details of it. How big the prompt it is, how big the response it is, based on that tokens will be consumed. In order to minimize that, the context should be maintained in your local files like this. Hope you understand. See this. This is maintaining the lab-BA analysis. Are you following it, right? See this in the root. Now, in the next step, if I ask anything architectural related stuff or specification related prompts, if I give, I'm not charting, I'm giving the prompts. Okay. See, there is, okay. Once I give the prompts, it will make use of the existing context like this, these files, and it becomes easy for it, and it doesn't consume much tokens, much much things. Okay, context is available. Therefore, it can understand. Otherwise, every time it's supposed to recall memory, and every time it will ask questions. Every time it is redoing things, right? So therefore, if you follow this kind of IDEs and with local storage, disk storage, see this is ready. Now, see this maybe. I can make use of something quickly. Okay, I'll address online MD viewer. See, I can show you. Maybe there is different views are there. See, this is the analysis of the project. See, project lab dash something, some JNTUH, Hyderabad, and how to read this document and user roles and permissions. See this description and system access, and BRD named the student permissions raised up to, okay, all these core entities relationships and entity relationship diagram also generated, workflow, right? Registration, profile setup, student. This is a workflow. Maybe diagram can be generated by us, even that generates, okay, but we should be able to log in curriculum presentation, first year group information, blah blah blah. These are the modules maybe, and business rules. Okay, what business rules? And rules simplified by functional requirements. Say this functional requirements and all, and edge cases. These are the edge cases and scenarios. This will help us to define the user stories in our Azure, the tools. Okay, and maybe, see, this is what the key section which we are looking for. Okay, in order to move to the next level, these authentication ID clarify needed. What credentials authenticates a student? Roll number or blah 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 blah. This is supposed to be done by the BA actually, and it takes 1 day or 2 days or 3 days to read the whole the BRD, which comes from the client, assume, and we should be able to read document analysis. Typically, we call it as document analysis technique, but today that is doing by this AI, and with which generated, see this, how many clarifications, okay, almost all clarifications are generated. In order to get these clarifications, we should be able to connect with the client. That's where your review meetings or clarification meetings or workshops should be conducted here based on the clarification. If the clarification required from two different departments, maybe it's a cross department problem, then we should be able to conduct a workshop with them. Okay, what type of technique, elicitation technique I should be able to use based on these clarifications. Okay, you should be able to decide. But here, 10x faster. I'm leveraging AI with which the next step is that, okay, I can give another prompt that, like, hey, close this and generate something. I have other prompts also, end to end. Okay, we can show you in the next coming up sessions, but this is the power of AI. This is a sample that how we can analyze with the help of AI, and how to generate these kind of missing ambiguities, uncertainties, and conflicts. But therefore we should be able to again interact with them. And for clarity modeling, yes, here it is business process flow, right? So here it is a workflow. You can create a workflow diagram like this, and to a manager, maybe I don't know who is the department, like, to whom he is going to interact with, but we need to get the clarity on the workflows. And if I get this clarity, and if I upload the workflow again and do the same repeated steps again, it will refine this, understanding and analysis. Hope you understand. Next simple question. Next is non-functional requirements. These are business requirements. Maybe I'm talking about the clarifications. Non-functional requirements. What are non-functional requirements? Non-functional requirements are nothing but the quality attributes of the system, software system I'm talking about. Okay. So it is about performance, architectural trade-offs, and a lot of multiple, backups related. All these comes into the non-functional requirements, because once we have the set of this non-functional and the business functional requirements available, then only it will move to the next completely different task, which is tech, which is all about architecture and coding and blah 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 blah. Okay, there are two things. functional part. This is, we are talking about functional part, functional requirements, business requirements, functional requirements, and non-functional requirements. Then next step is, once these are very clear, no open questions, no open clarifications like this. See this, these are clarifications open, questions open. First, we need to solve these questions first with the help of stakeholders. That's where you need to interact. You are the bridge between the client, right? So you should go to them, clarify them. You should be able to give it back by writing. Okay, like the board, I can show you something like DevOps boards. Okay, I'm not sure. Okay, this is okay. I'm showing you that not exactly the like Jira, but it is Microsoft ADO board where we are going to track all the requirements as a business. All the wiki. Wiki means something which is documentation. See this. This is one of the project where we create this, kind of requirements like this. Example I'm showing like. What is the requirement, and this is the title of the requirement, and this is the acceptance criteria, and maybe these are the attachments, other attachments like maybe how the, okay, the feature is completed and blah 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 blah. These are the details. Okay, and maybe zero attachments with, like, if you have the mockup or a user interface, we can attach here. Okay, this is all about different sections in a project management tool. I'm showing you a tool, project management tool, one of the two ADO boards, and there is other tool which we are talking about as opposed that actually Jira and Confluence. Confluence is for wiki. Okay, like this, we have to create wiki. Wiki means something which is documentation part. Okay, whatever the documentation we have, BR, FR, or whatever it is, we can upload there. And Confluence is for something documentation part in from Jira, like Atlassian, that is a different company. This Microsoft company. But we don't want to confuse you. We will follow one tool, which is Jira is going to give you. Okay, let's come back to the tools part. Okay, what are the tools which we are going to uh, give you at the during the these sessions? Let's because okay, what are the tools? Let's say maybe it's already shared in the this thing, like tools, maybe Jira and the ADO board. Maybe I can drive that parallelly, and Confluence. This is for okay, and draw.io or Pusit chart. Okay, and the pencil. Okay, I'm listing out whatever that comes into my mind, but they are there. Actually, we are going to detail that. And this is VS Code is very important. And GitHub, what is a GitHub? Something which is you should be able to have something linking your the files and everything to track that code files and all. In case if you are developing or documentation. Let's say if we are develop, it is developed this information, right? As of now, we have this information. It's supposed to be tracked in a distributed repository. GitHub is nothing but a repository where all the files will be tracked, all the changes will be tracked. Who created it, what or not. And some tools, maybe more details will be shared. And or Lakshmi, can you share that? Maybe I'll walk through them, that flyer or whatever it is. Okay, these are,
Yeah,
and
sure. No problem at all. Yeah. You want me to do that now?
yes, please. If you
Yeah, maybe
share
I'll
there,
just
and I
quickly
can
walk through.
open
Yeah, sure. Oh, you want me to share in the
a
PDF
chart.
document,
Is okay.
DP?
Yeah, just now you showcased in the very early in the
Right, the PDF document, yeah?
yes.
Right. Okay, just 1 minute.
Okay, and during this while AI is the key. What is that AI we are going to cover here? So I showcase this. Today we are doing the development connected AI, these tools, VS Code. Let's say I'm using the VS Code now, right? So this is the VS Code. Just now I'm using the VS Code. Even this is an extension. I'm sharing the board and everything. This is an extension which I'm sharing with you. And I've used the Claude also, same, right? Here it is the Claude. I've used the Claude here, right? Claude. How do I integrate it Claude? I can show you that these are all extensions of only. And how to connect with your source control, like Git. I'm talking about this Git, right? So how do I connect this Git? For what? What is the purpose of Git? I told you that whatever the files which we are generating, they should be able to track. That becomes a source for the next analysis, next, like, for development architecture and all. Okay. So the AI generates .md files. .md. If you look at here, the file by the name, it is generated by MD. MD is very standard generalized, where if you want to see this, maybe you can use kind of tools, or you can save it into your Google Drive and you can see that document also. But end of the day, to track these kind of files, including maybe if developers also working, they can also use the code, like code files like Python. Maybe they are using different technology stacks like Python or React or .NET or Java, whatever it is that, right? So their source also will be tracked, but maybe you don't have an access to touch those files. But at least you should be able to have some storage, disk storage, where you can, because the cloud is going to save your data in somewhere like this. Document will be saved, right? So uh, it is your physical path and your disk. Okay, this is the on your disk. This is the physical path where you can access. See this, like Prasad book, AI Tech Business Analyst Lab Dash Business Analysis, right? So this next step, if I give anything other prompt, whatever the prompt result is going to be artifact and saved it into your path here. That's what I mentioned. This is very important. This file reference becomes, for the AI for the next task becomes easy. Hope you understand. To track these files, we will connect with the Git. Okay, Git is something which is controlled. You need to have one account. I guide you that how to set up maybe in the next sessions, right? And these are other tools also available. And today what we are doing is connecting the project boards. Just now I showcased the project board, right? Here it is the project board. Now they are connecting. We are doing actually. This is connected. This board, Azure DevOps board, is connected in Visual Studio. Simply what we are talking about this is, hey, implement the feature from the board. If you write here, and it will get the information from the board, from the project management board. Let's say this is the requirement, right? If you ask, user story 26 insta, analyze user story 26 means it will analyze. And the same prompt, let's say if you paste it here, analyze something. Whatever the prompt we gave it, right? So if you give the same prompt and connect my requirements board, this is the requirements tool, right? Requirements board. This is for all developers, testers, everybody is going to be work here. And you can ask here how it is going to be integrated or connected. Yes, we call it as MCP. There is a kind of connectivity between two tools. Nowadays we are connecting the AI tools with boards, and you no need to go here and copy paste it here. Straight away you can talk to the, like, maybe Jira or ADO boards directly from here. Jira, I'm not sure that, but ADO boards which we are already using. Okay, we are writing like requirements like this. Based on the project structure, we are writing the requirements. This is reverse engineering. See, typically write the requirements and the source code will be created. Now, the current, actually, I'm supporting one project where based on the current project code, the source code, and we can generate the requirements also. That is possible. Reverse engineering. So therefore, today we are living in a world with integrated smart tools. But only question is, how do I leverage? Okay. Most of the people nowadays thinking that I know AI, just this is what something I can use. I can go to ChatGPT or something. No, there are very dedicated Cloud Code. Cloud Code. I'm using Cloud Code. Okay, this is a separate extension with which I can use these options. Maybe in a web edition, maybe you may not. There are other extensions also. Which model I supposed to use for planning? You can use Opus model. Okay, this is different models are also available. These are different commands also we should be able to. Okay, so this is what we need to learn, how to leverage AI for the analysis, for a business analyst. Okay, that's where in the end we are going to talk about this project, how to build the entire project. Maybe may you have the BID, or you can generate a BID for your practice, no problem. Okay, so I'll give the document. I'll give the document. This is the framework I've so honestly, this is refined. Okay, this is refined. I get it from somewhere else and I refined it. And maybe it is going to be refined more during our session also. And with which you can develop an application end to end. But is it our job as a business analyst? No, because at least we should be able to spec very clear till architecture side. And if you write the API requirements, if you write the database requirements, if you understand API requirements, or if you understand the database requirements or dashboards and reporting requirements, this is, you will make the decisions when it asks. When see this, when in the planning mode, it is asking a lot of questions, right? So then you will give the right decisions there, because augmented SDLC or spec-driven development only works this way. Just don't think that everything is autonomous. No, as of now. Even in future also, if it is autonomous, no organization is going to allow it, because humans are required augmented way. Augmented means we should be there and review it and take the decisions by tool is we are leveraging. Just a tool. Hope you understand this. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, please go ahead. Any questions or tools? Anyway, maybe you can share it that there are the comprehensive tools, which very cutting edge latest tools which we are using, how to set up and how to make use of them. Last batch we have used few different tools, but this time I changed kind of anything to something VS Code and GitHub, and with this Claude extension and with MCP servers how to connect. Okay, this is what we are going to see, and this is what the project which we, any project you can name it. I told you that I'm going to show you something project we developed, right, with Moscow. See this, with Moscow. This is just we developed in the last batch. Maybe previous students also in this class, they know it that we gather the requirements, because we have a problem with the last batch, not the last batch, it is been for years. If I ask something, hey, can you type chat whether you understand this concept or not, this whole, did you understand this? They don't. That's what class pulse. We named it as class pulse, which means what? I'll ask as a faculty that, let's say, this is as a faculty, or let's say, this is what the requirements are there. Maybe I don't know, because it's a 14-day trial version we created the requirements. Okay, this is, let's say, API REST. This is what the way we teach you. Okay, your understanding is the key. Let's say, now I teach you that something like user stories. Let's say this is data modeling. We taught you. So we taught you something ER diagrams, relationships, understanding something, blah blah blah, and The rule is here is that the metric I decide, the metric less than something 3, then I should be able to repeat the concept. If it is 4 or 5, yes, my people, my flocks, like my students got the point, right? So this is the way. Let's say if I share this the same with you, this is the code. Just you can access here witness.co, and if you enter the student code, and you can give your rating. Hey, I'm like, yes, I'm happy, not happy, yeah, wow, something like this. Okay, this is at least like average, like more than an average kind of a thing. And then yes, it's go ahead. So this is the way. Let's say tomorrow I'll start something which is uncertainty. Okay, how to reduce the uncertainty, how to understand a BRD, where the BRD comes from. We will break it down into the sessions, and the session should be able to, okay, ask you that have you understand this or should I repeat that, right? So your understanding is the key, because you come from a different backgrounds, and maybe one has 20 years and one has maybe a very new to this, maybe is struggling to understand some jargons also, no problem. Okay, that's the challenge as a faculty I faced. And that's where the business, like business means something HAC today, that we wanted to develop a tool like this. We developed it. Maybe this time when you are doing it, we wanted to enhance. Maybe we wanted to create courses also. We wanted to get some surveys also within this. This is, I act like a product owner. Maybe you should be able to do something like a requirements. Yes, you can leverage on the AI, whatever it is, but the prompts will be given. At least practice those prompts and generate, come up with, what is not a good requirement, what is a good requirement, what is specified principles, because we have 10 principles. I told you that, like, so we should be able to follow it, like reduce uncertainty, go deep before we wide. Okay, all these will be applied with rules. Okay, I'll follow that. We have aligned content for that, and making use of the tools. But forget about the tools. Okay, we are going to introduce maybe a new tool by the time when during this one month or 1.5 month, maybe Google may release a new tool. Just now, yesterday, they released something which is IO. Maybe you can check it, Google IO, that is AI Studio IO, with even including even Stitch. Maybe how many of you heard of Stitch, Google Stitch, which is a wonderful tool. Okay. Stitch. Stitch is like a stitch with dot designing tool, right? So when you want to elicit requirements from users, end users, let's say who use the software, this is the tool with which you can generate, designs, and you can share with them. The same is going to be connected with your VS Code, even VS Code. You can ask Claude that, hey, can you get get the designs from Stitch? Even you can ask like this, and it will get the designs from you. We can integrate. There is a concept called MCP servers, okay, with which we can, hey, design what is a native mobile app, something like this, okay, and which designs an app or a web app or something. Maybe you can try today. Just it's a beta again. Beta means something they are giving it, for feedback or whatever it is, but it works like one. Okay, this is models, Google model, Gemini and all. See this? Different. Ideate, redesign. See this? Bring a problem to solve. And see
GP, you're breaking.
maybe in this mode, you can solve it. Okay, you can ask. These are the modes. Sorry. Okay. Uh, okay. Is it fine now? I'm back. Hello.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Right. So I'm talking about the Stitch, which is a tool by Google, which is Stitch dot with google.com. Okay, you can design, and you can connect with your one tool, which is like BSS, and you can integrate the designs and the designs. Why we do the designs? And now that is the end user. For them, we design the screens, design thinking. Okay. So all these are going to be covered. That's tomorrow we are going to start something which is with first principle that how to minimize this uncertainties in a BRD, like, okay, we can start something over some key jargons, understanding. These are our previous notes is like um, how AI is real history. This is the detailed something narrow down that more detailed prompt engineering related stuff. And the skills and competencies we have talked about, right? So there are multiple skills and competencies which we earlier we used to talk, but comprehensive it is taking too much time. But what is really we can hands on? That's uh, the program design this time. Okay, and next is AI utilization and elicitation and all these like yes, this is what last time we talked about. And modeling is the key. Okay, and these are the key terms that we should be able to talk before we, if you are very new to this, and the we will introduce the BA domain. Business analysis is also a domain, right? The upstream domain where you should understand some key terms. Need versus requirement. What is the key difference between need versus requirement? Okay, and that what is elicitation? Who is business analyst? Design means what? All this will be composed in one file. Okay, um, these will be decided. Detailed sessions will be conducted going forward. But today, just what we have covered is just come back and we talk about like about the program, how the modules are structured, and what we are going to cover by week. And I come up with something which is each module which will be driven by the principles, because I told you that we are experienced people, like it's not something mid-level or juniors. We have almost 200 almost all are reflections how not to do. It's all about what to do
True.
is nowadays everybody, yeah. So what not to do and the principles is the key, and the rules you should be able to follow, and especially when you are using the double-edged sword, because it's a uh, AI, how to make use of that. Okay, and the career, as already mentioned in the very beginning, it's a way of time. But how do we adapt the latest? People will be laid off for sure. Only when they are not adapted the latest tools, like the tools, the latest tools, even anti-gravity is the latest, Stitch is the latest tool. At least you should be able to aware of those things and make it right. But we have a systematic guide how to make use of and what prompts at what level and what time you should be able to use. We have documented. We can we can do it in end-to-end project maybe in the end. So to connect that whole, we should learn these parts or dots. We will synthesize as a whole. Okay, we will design the program the similar concept. Okay.
Thank
Yes, Lakshmi.
you. All good. Thank you for the wonderful session, DP. You can stop the screen share. And yeah, I thanks a lot. So to be very, very honest, it started a little bit diluted here and there, but you picked up the momentum, and last 1.5 hour, it's like a wow for me as well. Very well done, well done. Thank you. Especially the practical hands-on. That's what really all of us will get excited, because we should have that understanding the analysis, business, and everything. We understand the theoretical concepts, but how we really implement in a practical way is very, very important, especially usage of the tool. And I also want to communicate to the team that it's not like, it's like a beginner or very, very basic kind of a training. It's going to be beginner friendly, but at the same time, DP is having 20 plus years of experience. He's going to reflect all that experience in his teachings. So tomorrow we are going to start the actual class. Today it is a day zero, right? It's more of a preparation before you play a football or a cricket game. So you just do some warm-up exercise. So this is more of a warm-up exercise, understand the DP expertise, what kind of tools, modules are being covered. So tomorrow we are going to start our class. And as I told, so tomorrow also we are making it free of cost. So all of you can use the same Zoom link. Very rarely we give the second class also free of cost, but we are doing it because market, they are looking for professionals who are really skilled with the latest tools and everything, not the traditional, because it's changing drastically, exponentially it is changing. Okay, not so we have to embrace that change. And unless we are adapted with these new skills. And so then only we are going to stand out in the market. So when DPs are talking about models, and it also just reminded me that we also do another training. We will be coming up with a similar kind of a demo that is for the generative AI, agentic AI, how the models are being built, everything. We do this one. So that's this is our Gen AI, and where you're going to build the models, large language models. How do you train them? How do we fine tune them? How we build the models? How we enable the conversations between the models end to end. You're going to build your own models and everything. So that's a training already happening. If you just to see, maybe for example here, April 2026, Gen AI, agentic AI. So here is this again, NumPys, Pandas, and you can see here like 23rd 23rd today the class is going to happen. This is more about working on the large language models, LLMs, how they are going to communicate to each other, and then how we are going to integrate logs, keys, APIs, anthropic messages, prompts, along with complete practical. So we have Olama, LangChain, vector databases. So that's on the different note, but I just want to let you know that we do have that training as well. And another interesting training that is coming up in the pipeline in just next 1 week, in 10 days, is the data, because all these language models, all these LLMs, they're heavily working on that data. They need a clean structured data. It's the data engineers who provide the data to this. So that is the reason you are seeing that spike in the recruitment for the data engineers as well. So end to end, the cloud and everything. So if any of you are interested in this, for example, the demo class, I can just share it with you. You can watch it. You will definitely enjoy that. The Azure Data Engineer, and it's not part of the BA, but having that knowledge and understanding is very, very important. Okay, team, cool. So each of the classes, whatever we are going to, for example, if I just send it to you, I'm going to create after this class, I'm going to create another drive like May 26 drive for the Tech BA, and we will be uploading the assignment. I will create the day 0 and then we will upload. So if you see the last batch, you see here all these things and prototypes end to end, and then you are going to data modeling. And if you double click this one, and then just giving you a glimpse of it, yeah, just to share, I'm just sharing the sound as well.
Sharing the screen.
Here you see here,
One of the big,
and then
or maybe you are
like this,
how the relation.
and then next, so maybe the practical implementation, week 8, and then these are the things. So we even the APIs. In one of the weeks, he is talking about the APIs, the SQLs, elicitation techniques. You can see here flow charts. How do you prepare the flow charts? What kind of tools? Now DP is coming up with further more latest tools as well. So every week, completely properly structured domain problem solving. So you'll have the reading material and hands-on assignments like this. And you're going to get a dedicated support on this WhatsApp group as well. So you have this AI tech business analyst group. So you're going to get a support in this group as well. And we train a lot of people. If you just type here USA, these are all the people whom we train from USA. We are talking about 3 to 4,000 people easily. And same thing, people from UK. These are all the students from UK whom we trained, and Australia, AUS. So these are all the students from Australia. So yeah, across the globe, we train good number of students. All right, team. So we will be opening the floor for questions. 1 minute. I kindly request you to please raise your hand. Whoever is having a question, please raise your hand. You can unmute and you can ask. Let's follow the discipline. Whoever is any having questions. Albert, are you okay? When did you join?
Uh, Well, I joined like about 15 minutes late,
Oh, okay, okay, but I
and
hope you
it's been
enjoyed. Hope you
an
enjoyed the class.
awesome experience. Yeah. So
Nice,
yeah, so
wonderful.
it's a very good refresher for me.
All good, all
I
good.
know that some of us may be new, but I think I've had a Scrum Master training with Lakshmi
Yes.
earlier, and this BA training is like a kind of an awesome refresher for me, and I
Hmm.
believe that everyone here will benefit from this training.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much for the feedback. Okay. So I also want to hear
Thank you.
from I also want to hear from Anand. Anand carries 20 plus years of experience like DP and myself. Anand, just what is your just a high level feedback with this high level intro class?
Oh, hey, hi Lakshmi. Hello, everyone. Yeah, definitely. This is very informative session. And as Albert mentioned, it's definitely a refresh what usual practice, what we are doing it as a business analyst, product owner. Uh, so thank you, DP, and thank you, Lakshmi.
All right. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much, Anand. Anyone, any questions? So please raise your hand. No harm. Just some of you are from completely altogether a different background. Some of the words might have sounded too advanced or technical, but you will be there. We are going to start all the topics from the basics. But now, if you want, if you have any question, you can ask. You can unmute and ask. Eric, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. So, sir, like for me, I came here like late because I was working. I think
Fine.
I told you, right?
Yeah.
So I just want to know, you're gonna provide like for us like a video. Maybe we're gonna watch like to
Yes, yes, yes,
after.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. I'm going to upload the video in the Google Drive and then so
Okay.
ping me your email ID. You are already part of the WhatsApp group, right? I will be giving you
Okay.
the access to all the students.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely you can
Okay.
go back, watch the recording, and then we will also share you the materials that the TP has used.
Okay.
Okay, Eric? All right.
All right. All right. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone, any questions? Previous students? Just checking the names. Swapna, I think Swapna is from Australia. Anyone, any questions? Please feel free to ask. So you will be given towards the end of the training, you will be given the CV templates. And I also told that, okay, so I share a lot of global job opportunities in my WhatsApp, sorry, in the Telegram channel. So if any of you are interested in joining the Telegram channel, invite, copy, and I'm just sharing this link. So you can join this Telegram group and here you can just scroll up and you can check the messages for last a few years. We are talking about not few days, few years. And you can see the job opportunities, the latest market trends, the webinars. Here are heading the Azure Data Engineer, and then here a remote, here you see remote business analyst, USA remote. Just click on here, and then it will automatically take you to the link, and then just, I don't know, let us see what they're asking. Can we connect with what we learned? Error, the requested job could not be found. Oh, it already completed. No problem at all. Maybe we'll just click on another remote job. Oh, it's the same thing, right? Not very sure why. Oh, it's this one. Maybe I'll just click on this. It's a remote job as well. I think it is from India. All right, so business analyst India got posted the day before yesterday. So what they're asking, we are looking for an experienced senior BA or analyst to lead the requirement solution across the market platform, product owners, talk with the engineering team, architectural, cross-functional stakeholders, blah, blah, blah. This role is strong, advanced, agile. So DP was talking about agile and stakeholder engagement. How do you engage with the stakeholders, participate, asking the questions, getting the clarification, ability to operate strategic. Yep. Okay. Location is India, and then supporting the US stakeholders. Okay. Look at the responsibilities. You are responsible for translating high-level business strategy into vision, epics, user stories, acceptance criteria with clear, functional, and non-functional requirements. Non-functional requirements. Maybe what I'm going to do, I'll just open this ChatGPT, the another model I have. I have very old business requirement document. What I'll do, I just want to give you the projects, Africa state government, some are sensitive, UK proposal. No, okay. Let me go to just 1 minute. I'm just trying to pull a BRD template, not the BRD template. I just want only the business requirement document directly. Just 1 minute, team. Oh, plenty of stuff here. Just 1 minute. Yep. So I have a sample BRD here. Let's look. This is a business requirement document that I got from one of the client. And the earlier, right, as I told, right, it's not the latest one. It's a old one, old business requirement document. And you can see this BRD, and then you have the descriptions as well. ABC Bank, and then mortgage, CMS, and blah, 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 and all the things. So what I'm going to do, maybe I just drop it. But we took a good amount of time to analyze the BRD, lot of meetings and everything. But with this evolution of AI, as DP said, so I'm just going to act as a tech business analyst, attached the business requirement document that we gathered from the business people, and write the epics and user stories for this document. It should be taking at least few days for me to completely analyze this BRD and write, what about just 1 minute? Unable to display the visualization. I'm not asking visualization, but anyway, it's already working. So while this is writing, where I'm going to understand those requirements. I have to write these requirements in the, for example, DB was showing the Azure DevOps board, and this is another project management tool called Jira board. Now what we will do, I'll just give you, oops, sorry, not that window. I'll just keep it here. Again, we have different models, right? So here mortgage request system, look at this. It already got the project overview, online mortgage, customer data population, mortgages, when you apply for the mortgage, right? So the key business requirement gathering, data population, data is very much required, validation, submission, status. Look, I already have mortgage creation and application flow. So so we are going to create, and then you are going to create the application flow. So this is the epic. Epic is a large value, representing a large value. Now the epic got created. Now as a business analyst, you have to break down this large value into smaller chunks. We call it as a user stories. So you're going to create a child item. So this child item is going to be the user stories. So now we have the respective user stories. Oh, it already gave a lot of stuff. So this is the epic. Under this, so first requirement is creating the mortgage request. Enter. Second, so support authenticated and guest users. We should be able to support. Enter. And multi-channel mortgage flows. Enter. Got it? So this is the major requirement, a large value. Maybe think like this is in a layman language, think this one as a pizza. This one is a veg pizza, non-veg pizza, and Mexican pizza, breaking down. Yeah. So under this mortgage request, maybe this is a loan, car loan, home loan, personal loan. Now we are going to assign to different developers like this, Apurva, and then Tanya. So these three people are going to work on these requirements. Making sense? And if you want to add extra, do you think that can I just ask Apurva, hey, build a multi-channel flow? She won't be able to understand, right? So we need to give her the detailed set of requirements as a business analyst. So here you have to write, go for the acceptance criteria and all the things in the detailed description, save, and then maybe a flow the process flow, business process flow, and then you can ask. So here also, you can see here. So you have the RAW, AI. In all the tools nowadays, we have the AI plugged. So this is how you are going to make use of this one, right? So how you make use of these tools and make your activities more efficient, how quickly you deliver the value to the market is very, very important. That's the strategy nowadays by all the organizations. That's the reason organizations are looking for skilled professionals. So you have to make use of AI, whether you are a business analyst or a project manager or a Java developer, usage of AI is very much, but how well we use it all depends. So going forward, the future is not for the people who sounds technically strong. Nah, because the technical stuff AI can use. The future is for all the people who are very creative, smart enough using the existing tool. How quickly we build the value, how quickly we deliver value to the market with minimal cost, with minimal human intervention. That's a strategy by all the organizations. So all of you have to mentally prepare for that and upskill yourself in that direction. Okay, so don't try to, okay, I want to do the manual testing training. I want to learn the Python training. I will be applying for the Python engineer. Gone are those days. All right, team. So I'm not trying to threaten you. I'm just talking the facts, and we do a lot of research as well, and we are talking with a lot of experience. Oh, Kumar, go ahead. You can ask your question.
Hey Lakshmi, thank you so
Yes, Kumar.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a really great session, but I just wanted to ask maybe you and DP can answer it
Yeah,
because majority of the requirements we see that companies they look for domain knowledge, right? So and if someone is a junior level resource or junior level of or fresher, right? So
hmm,
they may not have that domain expertise, right? So how you what is your suggestion in those scenarios? How we generally
right.
take the
How,
interview?
right. So how many years of experience you have, or you are very fresher, or you,
Actually, myself Shanti Kumar, if you can recall. So
oh,
I
Shanti
come up,
Kumar. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Okay. All
yeah.
right. Good,
So
good. You, DP,
I
you want
come
to
up,
answer?
yeah, come up with a different background. Comes with some non-techie background. So
Yes.
planning to move into techie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all about the domain, right? It's FDI or healthcare, banking, finance. That's what the domain means. That's what I understand.
Yes.
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 Yeah, that was a concern. I told you that when we started this, parallel, when we are running our entrepreneurship, like, 2009, parallel to that, we do the workshops. There we used to conduct workshops for the people who are from the domain, banking, healthcare, insurance. Okay, very specific. But today it's a level field, right? So, see, McKinsey consulted today to carry out the management, like the decision, whatever that, like they wanted to enter into the market or not. It takes years. But today it is coming down because of AI, right? Yes, domain is required, domain analysis is required, and domain expertise is required. The key area is that, right? But if what if that I'm into a banking, currently I'm dealing with the banking related requirements where we can leverage with this AI. Okay, with the help of AI. That's what last few batches also we generated the prompt library dedicated to do this research, synthesize, and reports to generate. Yes, definitely, I agree with you that domain is the key for a business analyst. Okay, but how do I handle in the current? This is a boon for the people who doesn't know the domain. They can learn whether manufacturing or services. There are the main sectors, right? Or agriculture. We don't do much in agriculture, but services sector is the most majority sector in the economies. And under that, retail, banking, different industries comes into the picture. How do we look from, how do we do this analysis step by step? We have prompt libraries with which we can carry out the domain related search. You can, let's say e-commerce is there. An example is an e-commerce. How e-commerce works, right? So which industry that comes under what is the terminology is that, okay, what is the process is ordering process or cancellation process or the payment process, how it works, the whole thing can be, we have a large prompts with which we can understand the domains, we can research the domains. That's what 10x, everything is 10x nowadays, right? So more than 10x, whatever that's takes years, now it is months and weeks, right? So this is the time. There is no such thing. I'm a senior or a junior or a PhD, non-PhD, tech or a non-tech, right? uh, there is something, the technology, deep technology, which is by AI, which helps us in exploring these domains and research these domains, generate these reports. Maybe these will be more towards a strategic side. Okay. But day-to-day execution and operational side of STLC, that doesn't require much. End of the day, how the user stories, right? Got you. It depends
More.
again, situation to
Right.
situation.
Yeah,
But yes,
and it is not possible for one human to have the entire domain knowledge, even if you have the
domain knowledge.
banking domain knowledge. So, but it all depends on what kind of product in which department. For example, when you're talking about a bank, so you have the credits, loans, mortgage, insurance, wealth management, risk, legal, security, every area. It's vast nowadays. It's more of on-job learning, gaining the experience, gaining the knowledge and asking the stakeholders right questions with the help of AI tools. We have these AI tools, so that's the only way to empower ourselves.
Thank you so much,
And one
Lakshmi.
more thing, just wanted to add one more point here. This is again, when we try to understand BA directives, like especially software companies, there are types of software companies. Okay, majority we see two. One is service types companies, and other is a product-based companies. So service-based companies where actually they are able to handle projects from domain to domain, different domains,
Yeah,
right? So and product is very, they focused on a specific market and a specific industry and a specific product line. Therefore, maybe that they look for something, dedicated. These should come from that. Let's say if you are working in a pharmacy, pharma related, drug related industry. Yes, you must have something, a quality related stuff in the pharma. Okay, and it's a product based. Services, it's a 6 months project. You work for bank, and some other project, it is something another domain, right? So it's a banking. So that's what it's completely a trade-off. Depends on which the nature of the project, nature of the company, or in abroad. Yes, domain is always plays a key role. Better not string.
yeah.
Yes, but today we
So when
have
you're talking
the
about
tools.
yeah, so like rightly said, Devi. So when you're talking, right, Kumar, you can see my profile as well. You can take my own example. So the service-based company is there, the Tech Mahindra. So I worked in Tech Mahindra for a few years. Through that service-based company, they deputed me to Belgium, and they asked me, "Hey, Lakshmi, you have to coach the product owners there. You have to coach the business people, from the." And this is a telecom company, altogether a different new domain, and I don't know the ABC of telecom. But I stepped in there. I was proactively that point of time. We don't have this much of AI and all the stuff, right? So I was just proactively browsing the net and understanding how the telecom operates and everything, and try to fine tune the agile principles, the to the more of the which will be which will help them. So I was guiding them more from this. And then again, they deputed me after this year, after these 3 years. Now, Tech Mahindra asked, "Hey, Lakshmi, we have another interesting engagement in Melbourne, Australia, but this time you have to go and coach the banking." Oh, gosh, that's altogether a different, again, a different domain altogether. So I started understanding ledger, non-ledger, basic terminologies, guiding the department, picking a department, coach them, and the ways of working, understand how they are currently working, and then what changes we have to, how can we embrace the agile, and where we have to see in down the line executing those steps. So it's more about on-job learning and everything. But did anyone blocked me because I don't know telecom, because I don't know the banking? No, I never faced that kind of challenge. In the interviews, they will be seeing your ability and how quickly you grasp the subject, your willingness to learn. And that's very, very important, the usage of tools.
Yeah. Thank you so
Okay,
much,
Yeah,
Deepak.
that's what we say that. growth mindset is required.
Growth
So
mindset is very,
adaptation,
very,
even
yeah,
even
adaptation is key.
today,
Yeah.
today we talk about switch, the stitch, right? So tomorrow I
Yes.
can share something on IO. So that's
Yeah,
what it's a volatile we are living in all the time.
exactly. Right. True. True. All right. Kenneth, I saw you raise your hand. You have any question? Kenneth, you can unmute and ask.
Yeah, so
Yes.
my question is this, right? So um I did take your Scrum course a while back,
Yes.
even after I got certified. So
Yes.
I got certified, then I took your course and everything was you explained everything very well. I
Thank you
did
very
end
much.
up getting, you know, some interviews, everything like that, because I'm coming from a sales background.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like change, pivoting, just being part of a team, every time I get to a certain round of interviews, it's always something with technical.
Right.
And I know I texted you early on while I was on.
Oh,
I just
Kenneth,
want to,
Kenneth Ogbuli?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So you
So
asked for
because
some support. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, so because I'm the way I like to learn is
Yes.
more so projects,
Hands-on.
hands on,
Yeah.
exactly. Because
Right.
my problem was when I did get my certification, it was getting interviews
Yeah.
based off just tweaking my resume and making
Mm-hmm.
sure that it aligns to what a company may want. I think the problem where it lies within me personally, I don't know if it's anybody else, is like the ability to do the job while you're still learning, like per se, a domain, right? You don't want to start a job and then, okay, you slip up because you put yourself to them on this pedestal saying, okay, I can do X, Y, and Z. But then when the job actually starts, um, it's a rocky road. I
Right.
feel like most of my interviewers who talked to me, I made it to final rounds, everything like that. They say my main pain point was the technical hands-on aspect of things.
Right. So you applied for the role of Scrum Master, Product Owner. What role you targeted, Kenneth?
It was Scrum Master
It was
and
Scrum Master.
something. And also, I've been looking at business analyst roles too because
Oh, the business analyst role.
sometimes,
Yeah, yeah. I think
yeah,
the
so
technical
sometimes
aspects
it's
from
good
the
to,
BA, you are going to get this from this class. From the Scrum Master, the focus was more on how do we empower the team, how do you coach the team, guide the team, getting the work done.
yes.
So if you are targeting only for the Scrum Master roles, most of them they won't go into too much of technical. But when you go for
Mhm.
Tech BA, definitely they are going to touch base the SQL data, how the data, because data is more like a oil for the car, right? So data is very, very important for each and every
So,
project.
so with me, right, I
Mm,
don't know where I'm gonna lean into, right? Because
right.
every
I
time
will.
I get advice from
No
outside
problem at all.
people,
I
they
will.
say, okay, they'll say like, okay, maybe you should try a role outside of Scrum Master to get in the door and then
Right.
work your way up to that, right?
Mm, mm, mm.
But my main thing is I'm just weighing my options. If I do want to still do BA or I still want to keep
Right.
continue going Scrum Master, right?
All the roles are evolving, Kenneth. The Scrum Master role
Yeah.
is evolving. The product owner role, the BA role, it got evolved into
Mm-hmm.
the Tech BA, now AI Tech BA. So even the Scrum Master as well. So now AI enabled Scrum Master. The Scrum Masters are expected to play multiple roles. Like you should be playing Scrum Master slash Delivery Manager slash Project Manager. So the line of difference is just shading away, fading away. So the more skills that you embrace, that you empower yourself, it's like you are going to stand out in the market. So if you
Mm-hmm.
are already targeting the BA role, so we haven't covered in the Scrum class, right? The focus was more on the Scrum, not on the BA perspective. So this is the training program that you have to take, which will cover the detailed in-depth BA aspects from the TP and along with the latest AI tools covering the technical
Okay.
expertise as well. I will talk to you
All right.
offline and then I will also send you the PDF document and then definitely on the costing we can work it out. So for returning
Okay.
student, I'm offering a special discount as well.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
cool, cool, Kenneth. Anytime, sir. Any final question? So I know that this was a bit of stretch for many of you, but tomorrow we are going to have a break. Actually, initially, me and DP, the day zero, we planned only for 2 hours. I think so. DP went on with the flow. I didn't block him, but but tomorrow we'll have like 1 hour class and 1 hour 20 minutes, and we go for a break, and then so it's a 3 hour class from tomorrow. All right, team. So please come prepared. Ade, you have any question? I saw you unmuted. All good. If you are okay. All right,
No,
team.
I'm okay.
You're
I'm
okay,
okay.
Ade?
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much,
All
everyone.
good. Thank you.
Um,
All right, team. Thanks a bunch for joining the session, and thank you, TP. So you made this very interactive and good. So see you guys tomorrow with our day one class and with the detailed agenda. Okay, team. See you tomorrow. Thank you. I'm going to upload the recording in the Google Drive and access. So all of you who are part of the WhatsApp group, you are going to get the access to the materials and recordings as well. Okay,
Are you gonna put are you gonna put access to the Google Drive in the WhatsApp or in the
Oh
Telegram?
no, I will not in the Telegram. Maybe yeah, in the Telegram also I can post it. No problem at all because we made it open to all. So I will just share it in the Telegram and in the WhatsApp group as well.
All right, thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, Kenneth. Thank you. All right, going to three dots. Stop. Stopping the recording.